But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Football is back in full swing with another week of epic games. And who's got you covered on the action for every single one of them? DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can bet $5 on football and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Nobody's missing out on the action this season. All DraftKings customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every game day this September. Get in on the NFL Week 2 action with DraftKings Sportsbook. And the best part is you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the app now and use code BET1580 to sign up. New customers can bet just $5 and take home $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. That's code BET1580. The crown is yours. 21 and over. Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with 0 down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Greg Clark Automotive trained certified technicians located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles 44 summers now, offering our summer cooling system inspection diagnosis on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Every air conditioning service includes a dye injection to find leaks. Contact us today at 602-246-2881. And online at GregClarkAutomotive.com. Mention 1580 and get 10% off of labor.
I'm an Arizona truck driver. I deliver food, medicine, supplies, and hope.
And during times of crisis, I support our communities. But every day I see people putting lives and families at risk.
Distracted driving is deadly, period. Be aware, be safe, and visit sharetheroadaz.com and find tips on how to drive safely around trucks.
This message is sponsored by the Arizona Trucking Association Foundation.
Greg Clark Automotive trained certified technicians located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles 44 summers now, offering our summer cooling system inspection diagnosis on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Every air conditioning service includes a dye injection to find leaks. Contact us today at 602-246-2881. And online at GregClarkAutomotive.com. Mention 1580 and get 10% off of labor.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
Here we go.
This is KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Tuesday here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale, and we left a bunch of texts sitting here unread yesterday because we just ran out of time. I was impressed that we were able to talk about each and every game that happened over the weekend. But I was sad that we didn't get to read all these different texts. So let me just catch you up with some of those from yesterday. They're still relevant today, I think. And if they're not, well, whatever. We had a new texter. I missed a new texter yesterday. Yeah, somebody said tanking Cardinals almost played their way to a win over the equally awful Commanders. So I don't know who that was. You're right. And hopefully we'll hear from you sometime today and give you a text or nickname. Jiggy, for some reason, said, LOL, GG's, most points in my league. I don't know what that is because the picture didn't come through, Jiggy. Choro says, hey, what's up with Ralph? Is he okay? Is Ralph okay? Hamilton Porter says, so looks like buying a cheeseburger for a recruit isn't the worst thing a college coach can do to get suspended now, is it? Oh, yeah. Well, Keon can tell you all about that.
Yeah.
What happened?
with Mel Tucker?
Yeah, I didn't read the
it's
story.
just
I just saw Mel Tucker did something bad, got in trouble.
Yeah, Mel Tucker accused of sexual harassment, and some of the details are alarming. And,
harassment, not assault.
Harassment for now.
Right.
Potentially also.
Listen, I'm not excusing any of it.
No,
I'm just saying one is worse than the other.
And he might have done both.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, we will never see him again.
Well, definitely not. But
except for during a celebration out on the court with some other coach lets him on. No, wait, that's Bryles. Sorry, I get everybody confused. How about that? Bryles ends up out on the turf, and everybody's like, "What the hell's he doing here?" Hey, well, his son-in-law. Hey, it was an assistant, and it's like, "Hey, come on down, Dad." Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, no, the guy that led the worst sexual harassment scandal, arguably in the history of college athletics, probably shouldn't be down on a field of any sort.
Yeah,
ever. Just
Yeah.
ever.
So that happened. Hefty Lefty says Matt Stafford had the connection with Nakua because he saw his name and said to himself, "I wore his necklaces in high school."
Puka shells.
Oh, Puka. Gotcha. Moist One said the Seahawks need a new defense coordinator. They played the worst zone defense I've ever seen. I didn't see the game, so I believe you. It is the Seahawks after all. Heavy Metal Maniac says, I don't recall anybody picking the Cowboys to win that game, did they? No, I didn't. I had the Giants. Who'd you have, Keon? You had the Giants. Everybody had the Giants, right?
Yeah, I had the Giants.
Everybody had the Giants. King of Kittens just said, suck it, Ralph. Thundar the Sound Barbarian says the Cowboys defense nearly outscored McCaffrey and Hurts combined. Trust me, I know. Congratulations, Randy, on your win.
Thank you.
Last Optimist says, could we please mock Ookla for giving up on the season before it began by leaving Jonathan Taylor and Cooper Kupp in his starting lineup? Well, if that's the case, we're going to chuck him out of the league, Last Optimist, and replace him with somebody who will actually make sure his lineup is correct. Blissful Hay says, it was very smart for Sharon Rodgers to fake that injury. Now he can collect $75 million, not play, and still eat some magical mushrooms.
I don't think he faked anything. If you saw the slow motion of that Achilles tendon snapped.
Yeah, that's an actual injury, and I don't know if that was caused by turf or if that would have been the same outcome on grass if you see the way the guy was on top of him.
I don't think it's a turf or grass thing. It actually reminds me of Kevin Durant when he tore his Achilles in the finals. He was actually dealing with a calf strain the entire playoffs, played through it, tore his Achilles. Aaron Rodgers a few weeks ago, what did he have? A calf strain, played through it, and with a 300-pound dude riding your back, the Achilles goes away.
For Aaron Rodgers, normally that's a dream come true. But last night in the grass, it was an injury, and now he is out for the year. So yeah, I guess let's start talking about that. Yesterday, 9/11, everybody, of course, in the broadcast, there was the national anthem, and you saw firefighters, you saw police officers. On DraftKings, they saw dollar signs, and they posted up this parlay, the Never Forget parlay. Bet these New York teams to win tonight on 9/11. Mets over Arizona, Yankees over Boston, Jets over Buffalo. And it was a plus 651, deal. And they had to pull it down immediately. For some reason, that upset a lot of people.
I can't imagine why. Nothing says we forgot quite like the Never Forget promo on a betting app.
We will never forget how dumb that was. And somebody, I'm not going to blame all of DraftKings, but there's one guy who said, I got an idea. Got to start putting everybody's ideas through a filter. Yeah, somebody's going to talk about this. Never forget.
Like just
parlay.
a more reasonable person. Like let the idea guys do their thing, but then before you actually do it, just ask a normal person, is this a good idea?
Soon they'll have a challenge like the Challenger Challenge. See if you can get your parlay numbers up. I mean, there's probably a lot of bad DraftKings bet parlays coming, man.
Probably.
Fish Tank says Dolphins win, Bills lose, Jets lose Rodgers. Things really went our way this weekend, he says. Blissful Hayes says if Mel Tucker uses Danny Masterson's attorney, he's going to prison. If he uses Deshaun Watson's lawyer, he's going to get a big old raise over at MSU. That's sad comment, but he's not wrong. Swazman says I'm retired from big snowboard jumps, wakeboarding jumps. Get it, Jeffrey? We're so old, we have to relax on high-end sports. Oh, no. I've relaxed. I was thinking about that last night. I had to turn on the grill. And I'm bending over, turning the thing, and I was like, like I stood up, and I'm like, my athletic career is over.
Yeah.
I just need to be in good enough shape to for one athletic event in my life, if you know what I mean. That's all I need is that one athletic event to be able to handle, and then that's it. Anything else? Nope. There's no more sprinting. There's nothing. Golf, maybe I think that's why everybody learns how to play golf, because you just don't need any real physicality to do it. Not really. You're kidding yourself if you think there is. So
if you have the real physicality, you should just go pro at that point, because that means you're hitting the ball like 400 yards and good for you.
Yeah. Swazman says Jeffrey, former Bear, took a Rodgers out accidentally. Looks like the O-line guy went low and then low on Rodgers. Sorry, he's out for the year. He might have to retire. I wonder if he will retire, but he won't retire until after he collects every guaranteed check this year he's supposed to get.
Which you should do.
Yeah. I was looking for ways of criticizing, but I saw it go boing. Just like we've seen in some other athletes where that calf does that little boing, like the broken rubber band move. And it's like, oh, man. See, that's because you're old. That wouldn't have happened to you if you were young. And, Aaron Rodgers, you are old. And now you're rich, and it's fine. I wouldn't worry about it. But, yeah, if you haven't heard, and I'm sure you have, it is a complete tear of the Achilles tendon. It is confirmed a complete tear. And no, Blissful Hayes, the Jets are not going to sign Tom Brady. Tom Brady's not coming back to save the day. He's not coming back for nothing. He got out of football shape faster than you've ever seen anyone get out of football shape in your life. And, he knows where his lane is. And I feel like he'll stay in it. It would crack me up if he tries to come back.
It is the funniest thing possible, though.
Yeah, he just walks in there, goes, I'm good. I'm ready. Let's do this. No.
If he specifically goes in and wins a Super Bowl on the team that Aaron was trying to win a Super Bowl on, that would be the funniest thing that could happen.
Number one Rattlers fan says 2012, I ruptured my right Achilles. 2014, I ruptured my left Achilles.
Oh my God.
What the hell were you doing, man? What were you doing when that happened to you?
Obviously too much.
Were you being tackled?
Obviously too much. I have never been hit hard enough to even think of tearing my Achilles. I've never moved fast enough to warrant that. Yikes, man.
I
Both
moved
of them
fast enough, but I don't think there's ever been any kind of, not since I was 16. Yeah, I don't know. Big George says, thing is, the Diamondbacks. All right, stop. We're not talking about the Diamondbacks right now, George. We're not talking about the Diamondbacks. Oh my God. He says, no, listen, the Diamondbacks ruined that 9-11 parlay by beating the Mets 4-3. Good. We beat the Yankees actual 9-11 back in 2001. Of course, we're going to spoil it for them in 2023. But it should have never existed is kind of the point, George, not whether or not you'd have made the money. Swazman says Jets, maybe Matthew Stafford from L.A. Kind of makes sense. Well, not to L.A. They kind of need a quarterback right now. So what are you going to do for L.A.? Didn't they just win a game? I don't think they're going to give up their guy.
With a bunch of receivers that like nobody cares about. And the quarterback was the reason why. You definitely don't move Stafford.
Pringle says Rodgers for Murray. Who says no? I think who's getting paid more? At least yearly on a cap.
I think
Rodgers
Rodgers is getting paid more.
So you go from a bad contract to a worse contract for a guy who's less likely to play than Murray.
It's a shorter contract, though, because either Rodgers retires at the end of this year or next year, and then you're done.
Pringle says, which quarterback plays a game again first? Presumably Murray, unless I'm right, and he doesn't play this year. So who knows? Rattlers fan says, here's how it worked. His right Achilles was in softball. Okay. And his left was falling down the stairs at a Harkins movie theater.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be laughing. How the hell? How do you manage that happen? Falling? How does that happen?
Did you at least get to watch the movie?
Yeah, was that before or after? If he's falling down, he was on his way to watch the movie. No, or he was done with the movie.
Yeah.
Or he was going to get snacks.
Yeah.
We have more questions, Rattlers fan. Scratch Me Because says, I turned 60 this December, and I still skate pickup hockey as a goalie 3 times a week. No, that's good for you. You stayed in shape. I've not. I'll have to get back into shape. And you know how it is. You know, you let yourself go. You start working out, and you start, hey, I'm feeling pretty good. Oh, God! And that's how it happens. That's how it happens.
Yep.
You know, I played running back, and I survived without knee injuries. You know, I'm going to be out there at open skate at Skateland. I'm feeling good. Oh, God. I'm not just, no, I'm just done moving around. That's it. I'm just done. Mr. Wilbur says, doesn't Phillips Rivers have a son that's now old enough to fill in for Aaron Rodgers? Close. I'd say close to it.
Probably.
Blissful Hayes says, Colin Kaepernick to the Jets. No, he's so far beyond football. Tom Brady is in better football shape now than Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick might be in shape, but he's not in football shape. He's not. You got to let it go.
He hasn't, though. He called him.
Did he really?
He called him.
Is it? You know, that reminds me of what Colin Kaepernick does sometimes. You know, you get on the unemployment and you got to like send in resumes just to show you're making the effort so you can collect. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Big George says, Jeffrey, I bet you can still outrun that fat ass. Before I can even read this, maybe not right now. I don't know. Oh, that guy? Yes. No, the guy you're talking about. Yeah. And his son. Number one Rattlers fan says, since I knew what it was like, I said, I just effing ruptured my other Achilles. And like you, my buddies laughed and laughed. It's the falling down the stairs part that's funny, not you being hurt. So please forgive us. I saw a woman fall downstairs at a church, big old lady, just went boom, 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 boom. And I didn't laugh. I was running over to help her. Then she goes, I'm okay. And then I just lost it. And then I didn't go back to that church because I was the only one who lost it. So I was like, well, it's time to go somewhere
that
else.
location is burned.
Maybe church isn't for me. I don't know. Fish Tank says, maybe we haven't seen the last of Carson Wentz.
We may not have. He might actually be the best of the free agent options available.
No, he's not.
Who else?
You know, just go with the kid. Just go with the kid. Don't do that to yourself with Carson Wentz.
The thing is, he has to improve. If he looks the same as he did last year, you're not doing worse with Carson. You're just not. If you watched Zach Wilson, I did. I was actually convinced that last year, this dude's got no future in the NFL.
Silver Pop says, Jeffrey, what about that race between you and Sun Devil Raul? You accepted the challenge. We demand the race. Well, I met Sun Devil Raul, and that dude is in shape. And I told him, I says, listen, I'll race you. I need a minute to lose some weight. And he sort of looked at me and laughed and said, no, we're good. I was at the draft party. I was just like, you dick. Okay. Blissful Hayes says Josh Rosen and Mitch Trubisky. He's available. Rosen will never play again. And Mitch Trubisky, isn't he somewhere as a backup? Where is he gone to?
Mitch Trubisky?
Yeah.
Wasn't he a backup with the Steelers?
He was
Used to
last
be.
year, but I don't know if he re-signed with them.
See, I'm looking at the depth chart
Let's see.
here
He is still a
for the
Steeler.
Jets.
He is still a Steeler.
They've got, of course, they've got what's his name that played last night, the kid, what's his name?
Zach Wilson.
Yeah, they got him, and then on their practice squad they have another quarterback from Eastern Kentucky, a kid by the name of Tim Boyle.
Boyle?
Oh my God.
Tim Boyle.
You're
Listen,
familiar with
it's-
this person.
Yeah, and you can't start him.
Well,
Not-
nobody
not-
said start. I mean,
with that sure, you could bring him
right
on
now
now.
they have a backup. They have a backup. They got Zach Wilson. That's their starter, and then they've got this kid Boyle on the practice squad.
I don't think that they ever want to actually see Boyle play minutes. It's just
I don't think they have to go out and get Carson Wentz.
they don't have to, but if they want to fill that spot with anybody they actually feel can do the job, they're going to have to trade. Whether you trade for a Trubisky, whether you go to Washington and try and trade for Jacoby Brissett, whether you trade for a Jameis Winston.
So we're like, hey, we need Jameis Winston. Hey, we need Jacoby Brissett. Hey, we need Gardner Minshew. Don't take our backup. We're
Yeah,
not
like
giving
a
up
lot
backup.
of teams are going to sit on we just looked at what happened to you. Are we going to give our backup away? Like, no, obviously not. And then we have to scramble and find somebody on short notice. Like, that's not going to happen. But trade is the only way to do it and get somebody more talented than Carson, because your other option is like Joe Flacco.
Salah's getting a lot of this on the phone. Yeah. Sucks to be you. Click. That's it. We're not doing anything with you. Jagdog says Brady to the Jets. No, Brady's not going. But that's interesting, Fish Tank. He says, where did Zappy land? On the practice squad for the Patriots, but they're trying to manipulate the rules and try to keep the 3 quarterback thing going. I don't know that they would give up anything to the Jets because it's Bill Belichick and it's the Patriots. Wilbur says Joe Namath never tore his Achilles tendon. He simply tore his pantyhose.
Oh,
No, that's true.
Oh boy.
Big George says, I think the Jets should just bring back Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
He already knows the system. He could back up Zach Wilson.
He does. With Flacco, it's the usual Flacco thing though. It's he has games where he's pretty steady, and then he has games where you're like, what the hell was that? I don't know that it necessarily makes you much better than having a Carson Wentz, but yeah, Flacco played in that, in that system, but so maybe he gets it.
Randy, I have a question for you. Did you watch all of the game last night?
No.
When did you turn off?
I turned off. It was about halfway through the second quarter.
How about you, Keon? When did you turn off?
Like halftime.
Yeah, I watched the whole damn thing, but I don't blame you guys. I was ready to turn off, but then it was kind of like, well, I'm in too deep now, once I got back from halftime. So you turned off when you turned off, and I don't blame you. I want you to think about how you felt when you turned off your TVs. Randy, Keon, think about how you felt when you turned off your TVs, and now listen to the following. Week 4, it's the Jets hosting Kansas City on Sunday Night Football. Week 9, it's the Jets hosting the Chargers on Monday Night Football. Week 10, it's the Raiders hosting the Jets on Sunday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
Week 12, it's the Jets hosting Miami on Thursday Night Football. Week 17, it's the Browns hosting the Jets on Thursday Night Football.
Don't you think that some of these games are going to get flexed?
Oh, that's my message for the NFL. Yeah. Flex it. Flex the hell out of it, NFL.
I don't know.
You flex your flexing flexers until these mother flexers are gone. I don't need to see another Jets game.
Nobody does. No one should have to do that. No one should be put through that. But I don't know if all of these games are eligible to be flexed. I know the Thursday night game is. I did read that somewhere. But I don't know that they're all eligible to be flexed. So we might actually be stuck with a fair amount of Jets primetime games.
I'm flexing it with my eyes.
Well,
turning the damn thing off.
The ultimate.
Honey, we're going
schedule.
out.
Yeah, fair enough. That's fair.
Get the keys. Here we go. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about that game that happened last night, but we got a lot more stuff to talk about than just the NFL. Yes, a metric shload of NFL, but we got baseball, we got basketball, we got college stuff, so many things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
The Arizona Cardinals will be home on Sunday as they take on the New York Giants. The Cardinals coming off a road loss to Washington to open up the season. Well, the Giants, they were shut out at home by the Dallas Cowboys, losing 40-0. But the Giants entered this Week 2 matchup a 6-point road favorite, -105 against the spread. Arizona +115. On the money line, the Giants -235, Arizona +194 with an over-under of 39.5. Week 2 begins Thursday night. Philadelphia hosting Minnesota. The Eagles are a 7-point favorite, -330. The Vikings +265, over under 48.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Happy 62nd birthday, Granddad.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I got you this.
A mug. Oh, thank you. What does it say? Beware, if you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of hospitalization from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
It is Raymond and Austin on All Star Sports Radio. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is celebrating their 30th year. You can't miss offer. 125% sign-up bonus and up to 30 risk-free bets.
It's called Bet Protect, and you can only get it from BetUS.com. An awesome offer for this season's wild plays.
Nice, like that infamous Tuck Rule back in 2002.
Tuck Rule, worst call in sports.
Man, you're like the old lady in the Titanic. It's been 21 years.
Hey, I'll be king of the world with Bet Protect. It's like having 30 get out of any Tuck Rule shenanigans in my back pocket.
But your back pocket is usually empty, bro.
Keep your shoulder pads on. Is there anything else about BetUS you haven't told me?
The less you know, the better. BetUS has live in-game betting, a 200% crypto sign-up bonus, and online casino for some blackjack.
You've been holding back.
Anyway, folks, get Bet Protect this football season. Visit BetUS.com for the industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus and up to 30 risk-free bets. Or give them a call at 1-800-MY-BET-US to get started.
Greg Clark Automotive trained certified technicians located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles 44 summers now, offering our summer cooling system inspection diagnosis on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Every air conditioning service includes a dye injection to find leaks. Contact us today at 602-246-2881. And online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention 1580 and get 10% off of labor.
Here we go, boys! Sunday night, the Dolphins take their air attack offense to New England to take on the Patriots. The Pats are surly after missing out on the playoffs last season and are looking for a reason to can the Dolphins. Will Zeke make a difference for the Patriots running game? Or will the Dolphins run them out of their own stadium? Patriots, Dolphins, Sunday Night Football. On your home for the NFL playoffs and Super Bowl 58 live, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, and oh my God, the betting odds for who's going to win the Super Bowl have drastically changed, especially in regards to the Jets. The Caesar Sportsbook moved the Jets Super Bowl odds from 16-1 to 35-1. Some other books made even more dramatic changes on that. You find them somewhere out there, 65-1 to win the Super Bowl. So, yeah, what happened last night was not a small thing. It was a huge thing. And I got to tell you, it was really disappointing. I told my wife, we were sitting there, she's like, hey, I think it's going to be a good game. I'm like, yeah, I think this will probably be the best game we see this week. Because some other games we thought were going to be good, didn't really live up to the hype or just didn't turn into a great game. It it was a messed up weekend of football. Of course, this helps us to learn and understand what we might be in for next. We'll give the award for the best picks. The person who actually won the Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em Contest Week 1. We'll announce that here in a little bit. But yeah, that was really disappointing and stunning. You know, we used to make jokes about his clavicles, you know, his shoulders, his brittle clavicles. Who knew it would be an Achilles? Who knew? Blast Optimist wants to give you some clarity, Randy. Bailey Zappi, who is on the practice squad, he says anyone on the practice squad can be signed to a 53-man roster. The team that had him on the practice squad can't do a thing about it. Yeah, but you know that Belichick watching, I would almost bet if you look at the feed, he's already grabbed him, got him off the practice squad. All right. Or they have some sort of a side deal on it. Silver Pop says, guys, I hate to be one of the guys who says the NFL is scripted. Did you see the tackling efforts by the Bills on that punt return? I've watched it 5 times. To me, it looks like the Bills definitely WWE'd that play. I saw the same play live and on replay.
The only person who gave poor effort tackling was the punter, and he's a punter.
Yeah, that pissed me off a little. He was right there in front of him, and he went, "Ole!"
Well, yeah, because punters are essentially
could have stopped him.
Normal guys.
You could have stopped him.
When you see this dude bearing down on you, and like
he was taller than you. He was taller.
What punter was taller? Doesn't have. That's a big dude. That is, and he's moving at full speed. And I was disappointed. And you're a punter.
Yeah.
No.
That's what I mean. Kickers are not football players.
Yeah, we've been saying that forever. He's a punter. I don't expect that from my punter. And also, like, a punter can really flip the field of a game. If that dude gets hurt and I have to go scrape up a punter that I haven't been working with, who knows what the result can be? Because
it's overtime. You have nothing left but to try to stop that guy.
Overtime week 1. They need you for the other weeks. You're the punter. If it comes down to the punter, the other 10 dudes out there that's supposed to cover, they failed. That's not up to the punter.
No, I know. Just seeing that where he went, I'm going to stop you. Oh, no, I'm not.
Yeah, because he made a business decision. He saw how fast that dude was coming his way, because that dude is actually one of the few people not named Aaron Rodgers that got any screen time on Hard Knocks. And he just barely made the team because he could really return.
The punter ain't getting laid. I'll tell you that for a long time. Nobody, his wife or girlfriend probably said, no, I understand. I'm just not in the mood tonight. Like, is that about the game? Oh, no, it's not you. I'm going to sleep. And you hear her on her phone. Swipe. Oh, that kicker. King Kitten says a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for the Southeast Valley, Rando. Will we survive Taco Tuesday?
Oh, that's right. It is Taco Tuesday. I like Taco Tuesday. Maybe Miss Kim will bring some tacos home tonight.
Maybe a little bit. You can give us a weather report. Let it, because I'm in the East Valley. I'd like to know if I'm going to survive Taco Tuesday. That'd be nice. So, historian says, isn't Thursday night football where football goes to die? A lot of times, yes. We were actually hopeful, seeing some of the schedule had better matchups than usual, and they also have changed some things to try to protect us and Amazon from bad matchups.
They've given Amazon the ability to flex out of certain games. So if they find themselves with a matchup that seemed like a good idea in week 1, that turns out to be a horrifyingly bad idea in week 7, they can get out of it.
Fifth letter, I was thinking the exact same thing. He says, I'm scared for the Raiders this Sunday. Got a feeling the Bills are going to be very angry and put up 50 on us. There's nobody more angry at themselves than Josh Allen, because he even says, hey, this is my fault. I tried to force it, tried to push it, same old bleep. He says, it's on me. It is on me, he says. So,
you get the good Josh Allen and the bad Josh Allen, and the bad Josh Allen was, because that was not good last night. But the good Josh Allen is obviously the guy that can make plays with his legs, use that cannon of an arm and still play in enough of the structure of the offense that he doesn't get himself into trouble like he did last night.
Yeah, and also, that's how they started last year, if you remember. They had a horrific first game and then bounced back, and he was regular Josh Allen. So I'm not too worried about the Bills. I still put them up there with a very good Super Bowl chance, even in spite of what happened last night. By the way, the Packers just got screwed. Maybe as bad as the Jets, because now, because of what happened, the Packers will get a 2024 second round pick to complete the Aaron Rodgers trade. They were going to get a first round pick if Aaron Rodgers played 65% of the snaps. By the end of the season, Aaron Rodgers will played 0.000000001% of the snaps.
He played 4.
And so now the Packers just, I feel for them. They should have never signed that deal. With an aged quarterback.
What choice did they have?
The choice was to say, it's just for a first round pick, period. It's not for,
the Jets were like, you can keep your old quarterback. We'll find something else. And they did want to move Rodgers. Like the only reason why it works is because the Jets were desperate for a quarterback, but the Packers were desperate to move on and get Aaron Rodgers off their books as fast as possible so they don't have to deal with that cap hit going into future years. There was enough desperation there. Yeah, you agree to that. And
we're always the voice of reason here. I think we even talked about it's like, wow, you're going to give up what for Aaron Rodgers, who is about this close to retirement, and then is based on a first round pick that only works if he doesn't get hurt. Wow, that was dumb and desperate by the Packers. But now everybody loses. Everybody loses. Packers lose, Jets lose. I don't care about either of those teams. So why not? Although we may want to do periodic checks with old James there at the radio station because he's a big Packers fan. Although he's probably not thinking about that pick. He's thinking about Jordan Love looked pretty good. So I think he's probably going to be okay.
Squash your division rival in week 1. You'll some of those other things go down a little easier.
I like how Zach Wilson lied to everybody. My heart goes out to Aaron Rodgers. No, it doesn't. Inside, you were first scared, and I guarantee second, joyful. That bastard Zach Wilson doesn't care about Aaron Rodgers. He got what he needed out of him. Free education for the training camp. Now the team is mine.
I think the free education could have lasted a little bit longer.
He still sucks.
Sit behind him, watch how he works for a year, not just for an off season.
He's still gonna have him on the sideline and around the facility. And
I predict you won't see him.
I disagree with that. I mean,
I would laugh my ass off.
You don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be around?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that he'll go off and be like, it hurt too much. I have to have surgery, so I'm not going to be there. And then week after week will go by. If things are looking good for the Jets, he might show up. But if they're looking bad for the Jets, he ain't going near that bleep show.
I disagree with that because I think he wants to play there next year. I mean, I don't know after this if he physically be up for it, but he is a person who did make sure to add another year to his deal because he thought it wouldn't be fair to just show up and play for a year. So I can't imagine that he just doesn't show up, doesn't hang around the facility. The hell else is he going to do? That's where the physical training is going to be. That's where the rehab's going to be.
Lots of psychedelics.
I mean, seems to be an off-season thing for him with that. But
well,
I don't know.
What? It's now the off-season for him.
But it's not. He does actually have to rehab his body, even if just in name only, because
he's going to have the best time on the treadmill because he'd be like,
you. It's just
he's going to be running on a 1. Thinking he's like, that was the best, man. It's gonna be a dark retreat.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one.
Awaskushka dark retreat too, coming really soon, says Rough Rob. You're damn right. Hello Darkness, his old friend. But no, Zach Wilson, my heart goes out to Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. By the way, remember how every now and then, this is just something that I've been doing for it's probably a few years. On the YouTube, anytime I just feel like sometimes I'll do this. You guys will see this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Tell me who that is, Randy.
Yeah. It's Rossi. That's David Ross, manager of the Chicago Cubs.
Still one of my favorite pictures. I'll never get rid of that.
Yeah.
But now I got a new one. Now I got a new one. Last night on ESPN, when Zach Wilson threw a interception, a Jets fan, bam. They were looking right at him on ESPN, and he's just like shaking his head, like, Zach Wilson, up yours.
He just never imagined he'd have to see Zach Wilson as the starter for this team. So
nah.
And not in his wildest dreams.
That's a guy right there that's just not happy. He watched all of the hopes and dreams of all the Jets fans just walk off in a walking boot.
How much did those seats cost him? Those were nice seats.
Yeah, they were. They were right close, weren't they? Well, I'm going to save that one too. So now I got another middle finger picture to put up on the YouTube. We were talking about the turf. David Bakatari thinks it was about the artificial turf. Could it have been? Yes. Could it have also happened on regular turf? Yeah, I think so. It depends. It's just the way his foot was planted. It wasn't like even on regular turf that it could have slipped back. I really feel like this was not a turf injury.
This feels like a 300-pound guy is putting all of his weight on your leg. That's what that is.
Well, on turf, his cleats would have caught right there at the angle. He was almost flat-footed there.
Yeah,
it wasn't like his toe was there and could have slid back. He was committed to that, whether it was grass or artificial turf.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Would turf have given quicker than artificial turf? Yes. Would it have given in that angle? The physics of it? Maybe not. Maybe not.
It's hard to say, but I don't think so. Because he did, that's the typical Aaron Rodgers. He tried to make that spin move to get out of the sack. And it was when he planted his leg that he got all of that extra weight from the lineman on top of it. And like that, I don't care what surface that was. It's not moving anywhere. It's just being driven straight down. So,
although Bakhtari does make a good point, he says, congratulations, NFL. How many more players have to get hurt on artificial turf? You care more about soccer players than us. You plan to remove all artificial turf for World Cup soccer coming up. So clearly it's feasible. I'm sick of this. Do better.
I hadn't considered that point, though.
Didn't know they were doing that. So that is a bunch of boo-boo. Probably the thought process is we can bring the grass turf in and then get rid of it later. We don't have to have an irrigation system for the grass turf that we bring in for the World Cup. They play on that, and then we just scoop it up and get rid of it.
You at least need a temporary irrigation system, though. The World Cup is, over the course of several weeks. So it's like you do need to maintain it at least a little.
Well, maybe they turn on the sprinklers, the fire sprinklers in the stadium. And by the way, at the Jet Stadium, is that open air?
Yeah, it's an open air stadium.
Yes, it is.
Well, they just did. All you got to do is make it rain. You'll be good. Well, I think that he's right. They should, wherever you can, replace it with turf. And it sounds like the Jet Stadium is one of them places.
Here's the thing, though. There was a bunch of uproar about this past Super Bowl here in Phoenix that had natural turf. And everybody was crying about how slippery the turf was.
Well, that's because the NFL guys screwed it up.
And now we've got David Bakhtiari, crying about this artificial turf. I wish we could find some common ground here somewhere.
Common ground should be everybody should use grass. That's what should be the common ground. It's professional football. This is it's inexcusable if the players are more comfortable. If the injuries are statistically less, give them what they need to do their job. Don't make them go to work in an unsafe environment, right?
We've seen the numbers, and it's not, even in cases where it's not that big of a difference, it's still better to be on real turf.
If I'm not mistaken, Kyler Murray, he tore his ACL on a natural turf surface.
Yeah, I said statistically. I didn't say it was a magic wand.
It's not that no one ever tears their ACL on natural turf. It's that when you look at all the injuries over a long amount of time, most people tear their ACL, especially of the non-contact variety, on artificial turf. We have the numbers that show that that's the case.
We have the meat. No, that's Arby's. Listen, we have to take a break. When we come back, just a little bit more about this nonsense, and then we have other nonsense to talk about and more of your nonsense on the text line, 888-368-1580. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All Star Sports Radio, celebrating their 30th year. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is offering a 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets.
It's called Bet Protect, the perfect offer for crazy plays, like the famous butt fumble. It's the GOAT of embarrassing plays.
Really, remember when you bet me you could do a live show with a GOAT as your co-host and he face-kicked you?
Thankfully, I didn't take the under on that one.
Anyway, folks, get Bet Protect today. The industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets. BetUS.com, where the game begins.
Football is back in full swing with another week of epic games. And who's got you covered on the action for every single one of them? DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can bet $5 on football and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Nobody's missing out on the action this season. All DraftKings customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every game day this September. Get in on the NFL Week 2 action with DraftKings Sportsbook. And the best part is you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the app now and use code BET1580 to sign up. New customers can bet just $5 and take home $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. That's code BET1580. The crown is yours. 21 and over. Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms.
Don't let your kids get fooled by the people they meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but those strangers are using their relationship to deal drugs to your kids. If you think tiny pills can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Find resources at talknowaz.com. Don't let your kids get fooled. Talk to them and visit talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with 0 down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
1580 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com. Your home for sports.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Irish for me says, go Cubs. Time to pay back the Dimebacks. Wait, I thought that series was over.
Yeah, that series is over. But they're coming to Phoenix. So...
All right, we'll talk about the Diamondbacks a little bit later. Blissful Hayes says before last night's game, Zach Wilson, where'd my thing go here? Had it made. He was going to be a well-paid backup with 0 pressure. Now he's got a lot of pressure as a starter. Yeah, but I'm sure he wanted the ball.
I don't know about that. I think once Aaron Rodgers showed up and it was clear, like, okay, this guy's better at football than me. Like, I think having the ability to sit back and learn and knowing that your job's not on the line now, he's going to go back out there, and whether it's fair or not, we're going to judge him for this season, even though this wasn't what his season was supposed to be.
Blissful Hayes says Josh Allen now has more completed passes to Jets players than Aaron Rodgers has completed passes to Jets players. You are correct. Bruno Baller says if you were going to power rankings after week 1, what team would your number 1 be? Thinking either the Cowboys or the 49ers. Well, I think a lot of people are going to say 49ers, not the Cowboys.
I mean, I think a lot of people are going to say 49ers, but Cowboys are right up there because at least that defense is going to legitimately be a problem for every other team on their schedule. Like, that's not going anywhere.
Well, maybe. We have to see it again. We have to see that defense be great again. I'm not saying a 40-0 blowout, but you have to see the same defense show up in the next game and play dominant defensive football, because this could have just been, holy crap, the Giants suck. this could have been just one of them days. So I got to see another game or two from the Cowboys before I start anointing that defense.
Yeah, I think that's fair because the Giants' offensive line is legitimately terrible. It's one of the worst ones in the league. I thought they fixed it. Guess they didn't fix it. But I have noticed just watching around the league yesterday or Sunday, a lot of teams struggled with offensive line. It wasn't just the Giants. It was a bunch of them.
Walter Mellon says, hey, Jeffrey, how much of Aaron Rodgers' contract is guaranteed? All of it? I think all of it.
No.
A good deal of it.
A good
75
chunk
million
of it,
this year.
but I don't think the whole thing is.
I think this year's 75 million is. He says, would you put it past him that he's so sadistic that he wanted to get hurt, so he made it happen just to get a little bit more payback on the Packers? I don't know, Walter Mellon.
There are so many easier ways to get hurt than tearing your entire Achilles. No, no.
He's going to be limping for a while. I don't know if he would do that to himself on purpose. Cowboy Sparky says RELAX. He'll be back with a thicker mustache. You'll see. King of Kitten says a gallon of ranch dressing is $10.82. Okay. Thanks. Mr. Pringle says, Jeffrey, I am having a hard time going into the Pick'em website and changing my incorrect picks. Can you give me some help? Clearly I can't because
so sorry.
Wait till you hear how bad I did this week. Big George says, I don't think the Sunday night football games, can be flexed until around week 12. Monday night games aren't flexed either. Looks like we're stuck with a lot of damn Jets games. I have an idea. Why not flex the Arizona Cardinals into a game? Then they're an exciting team. Josh Dobbs at quarterback. He says, not even I was able to type that with straight face.
Okay.
T-Bone says, Aaron Rodgers. Damn, another jet crashed on 9/11. Oh, dear God.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Why
boy.
would you do that?
Oh,
Wow.
my God.
Why would you go there?
Wow.
Oh, T-Bone. Wow. Baker's Cocky Hen says, how about them Rams? Yeah. How about them no-name wide receivers? So we'll see what happens next week.
Well, Tutu Atwell's not a no-name. He's just new. He's young.
I ain't never heard of him.
He was a rookie last year and he got hurt.
Well, that's why I've never heard of him.
Yeah, but he's not. But if you watch college football, you know who Tutu Atwell is.
I really don't. Patrick Mahomes, by the way, you ever sit there and I don't know why people don't do what I do more often. I will type something, realize, oh God, I spelled that wrong. Delete, retweet. I'll just get out back there and I'll do it again, spelled right. I have no shame deleting a badly punctuated, spelled, or phrased tweet or response. Patrick Mahomes, he posted this on Twitter after what happened last night. Hate, that man. Praying for the best, prayer hands emoji. So the comma after hate, it sounds as hate that man. What he meant to say was, I hate that man. So I'm praying for the best for you, man. I hate that happened to you, man. But he was hate that man. Commas are important.
Yeah.
That's all.
He fixed it though.
Yeah, he did. He deleted it. He retweeted it.
Well, no, I think he's got the blue check mark, so you can just edit.
Oh, I don't have a blue check mark. I ain't paying for that.
No. It's not
so, by the way, Monday night's game, the NFL's 650th regular season overtime game, but only the third to end on a punt return touchdown. So that's a very rare thing that happened.
Third ever?
Yep.
Wow.
Out of 650, only 3 ended on a punt return touchdown. Well, yeah, I mean, that does seem kind of rare.
It does seem pretty rare, but it's, I was trying to remember. Then I remember last year, I think the Jets were playing the Patriots and they were about to go into overtime. And then the Patriots won on a punt return touchdown. So that's different. But yeah, that still seems like when you do it 650 times, should be more than 3.
No,
but I guess not.
By the way, Jordan Whitehead, he got 3 interceptions on Monday night. So he got an extra $250,000. That's part of his incentives package.
Josh Allen being a nice guy and helping him out.
Yeah.
By targeting him and nobody else.
I don't know how much Whitehead makes normally, but that was pretty nice to get 250 grand, a little bonus right there with the night of his life that will probably never happen again. Swazman says, "Hey, Randy, Cardinals defense did look legit."
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think they looked. I think they looked good, but you have to filter that with the fact that they were playing against a Washington Commandos team, not a. I can't wait to see them, go against a legit offensive line like San Francisco, somebody like that. So, but yeah, they looked pretty cohesive. They looked like they were flying around pretty good. And the thing I liked about it was they weren't just, how Patrick Peterson would just kind of throw his shoulder in and try to tackle guys. These secondary guys were actually wrapping dudes up. So I appreciated that. The tackling technique, the way they were flying around after the ball. I liked it quite a bit. Yeah.
We'll see if that continues. That's the thing I'm going to say about it.
I thought Dennis Gardeck looked really good. I thought Jonathan Ledbetter looked really good. And I thought Zaven Collins looked really good for that defense. They were pretty awesome.
Well, keep it up. Maybe something good will come out of it. It's time now for the weekly awards. Let me tell you who has won the Harmon Solar. Again, just wait till I finish saying the
You said
thing.
it was time.
Okay. The Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em Contest weekly winner is Niner 1680. He got 11 right. That's it. 11. That's how messed up this weekend was. If your weekly winner got 11 right. By the way, Radio Ron did the best of anybody with the radio station. He got 10 right. So Spooky
nice.
Ron is back.
Wow.
And then I got 6. Yeah. So talk to me about, Mr. Pringle, talk to me about how I falsify the results or I go back and change stuff. I just got embarrassed. Randy, I'm sorry. It was worse for you. You had 5.
Yes. Yeah. I had 5.
Keon, you had 8. Ralph had 8 as well.
I have 9.
What do you mean you have 9?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9.
Where are you looking at that?
I'm looking at my own picks right now, and I just
you
counted
must
the ones
not have typed one in. Let me go back to the results. I go back in, and here I'll do it as we're talking.
I think I had 9 as well. Yeah.
I go into results.
Pretty sure I had 9. Yeah.
I go into results, and then I search your name on the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You did not have 9 ready.
I'm pretty sure I had 10.
You did not have.
I'm counting 9. It right now. All the things highlighted in green.
All right, calm down. Let me look again. Maybe I just saw it wrong.
I had at least 10.
Oh, that's weird. You had 9. You did have 9. Congratulations. You had 9.
Thank you.
My bad. That was not intentional. So now I got to look at everybody's again.
You don't have to look at mine. I had 9.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't have anything. It was bad. Yeah.
If you did it before the game was over, then that might be.
No, I did it this morning, which is why that's very strange.
That is odd.
Let me just double check Ralph.
I had at least 9.
Well, I better check all that stuff again later. But I'll tell you, yes, there were a bunch of people who got 11 right. It was just the tiebreaker that gave it to Niner 1680. Beer Nuts at 11. Cowboys Lover 69 had 11. Hefty Lefty had 11. Mrs. Hefty Lefty had 11. And you guys, that better not just be both you, Hefty Lefty. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that better not just be both you. Lost Toby got 11. Putt Swaddler got 11. Rolling with Romo 37 had 11. And the Wheel McCoy had 11. So congratulations, everybody. As far as fantasy football goes, Ignatius, a cast out from the Premier League over in League 6 now, had the high score of everybody with 198.5 points.
Wow. What did he have, Tyreek and the Cowboys defense?
You know what? I didn't look. Let me look at who he had there, but that must be the case.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
I just saw his score. Just blew
Mercy.
most people like the winners in their leagues had like 130, 140, sometimes 150. Nobody had over 140, I think, in Premier League. There we go. Let's see. Okay, now I can see him. Yeah, he had Tyreek Hill and he had the Cowboys defense.
yeah. I was like, there's no way you had to have both of those to get 190.
perfect storm, along with Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Jones, Tony Pollard. He had a lot of great players going that night. So congratulations, ID Natius. So Niner 1680 wins himself a nice NFL jersey of his choice. ID Natius, you just get mentioned. We don't have any prizes for that. So Heavy Metal Maniac says, I had 7 right. Big George says, I think I had 7 right. Mediocre at best.
I demand a recount on mine.
I'll go look for you. Beer. Yeah. Beer Nut says he had 11. You are correct. I see you right here. A-Wings 22 says, as a Jets fan since 92, I've seen it all, and I'm not giving up on this season. With this generational defense, and they got all the weapons on offense, they can get Zach Wilson where he needs to be, and Garrett Wilson has the best hands in the NFL. Good for you, A-Wings 22. Hang in there, man. All right, guys, that is 1 hour down and 2 to go. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
When my daughter gets a cold, I have a secret weapon. DayQuil Kids Berry from Vicks. DayQuil Kids is specially formulated to treat kids' most bothersome cold and cough symptoms quickly. And the best part is that DayQuil Kids Berry tastes really great. Aren't you supposed to be resting? Maybe.
DayQuil Kids Berry. The kids' berry-licious daytime congestion, coughing, stuffy head, stuffy nose, just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6 years plus.
Head coach Kenny Dillingham and Sun Devil football host Mountain West Conference opponent Fresno State in a highly anticipated matchup Saturday, September 16th at 7:30 p.m. for the annual City of Tempe night. Make Mountain America Stadium echo from the Buttes when the Bulldogs come to town. Single game and mini plan options are available to watch the Sun Devils take on Fresno State. Get your tickets today. Call 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com. Be there, be loud, and wear gold.
The kids are back to school, and Exergen is back to the basics in thermometry, where accuracy matters. The Exergen temporal thermometer is fast, non-invasive, and clinically accurate. Exergen is backed by over 100 clinical studies and is trusted and used by medical professionals. Take care of your family this back-to-school season. Choose Exergen, available at Walmart and Walgreens. Learn more about why accuracy matters at Exergen.com. That's Exergen.com.
Greg Clark Automotive trains certified technicians located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles 44 summers now, offering our summer cooling system inspection diagnosis on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Every air conditioning service includes a dye injection to find leaks. Contact us today at 602-246-2881. And online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention 1580 and get 10% off of labor.
80% of youth in Arizona don't drink, smoke, or use drugs. Want to know the reason why? It's you. Kids say not disappointing their parents is one of the main reasons they choose not to drink or use drugs. Visit talknowaz.com because while you might worry you aren't getting through, you are. Keep it up and stay up to date about the latest Arizona drug trends at talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Head coach Kenny Dillingham and Sun Devil football host Mountain West Conference opponent Fresno State in a highly anticipated matchup Saturday, September 16th at 7:30 p.m. for the annual City of Tempe night. Make Mountain America Stadium echo from the Buttes when the Bulldogs come to town. Single game and mini plan options are available to watch the Sun Devils take on Fresno State. Get your tickets today. Call 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com. Be there, be loud, and wear gold.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time for what?
Showtime. When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. You got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And Boomer Sooner is on the text line. Says, I'm watching on the old YouTube there. Hey, Randy, are you losing weight there?
I don't think so.
He's just complimenting you, or he's also just trying to get a cold beer, I think.
Well, we can do that. Yeah.
Well, it's nice of you to say.
Yeah, I mean, very nice, but I don't think so.
My wife says that to me sometimes, and I don't have the heart to tell her. It's just a smaller T-shirt. That's all. Blissful A says, perfect timing, Randy, with the congratulations on the audio there. Yeah, no, Blissful Hayes, it wasn't. Fish Tank says, did I just hear the Dolphins are the Sunday night game this week? Sweet. I don't even have to go to the bar. Yes, Dolphins at Patriots, 4:30 p.m. In fact, let me give you the rundown here on 1580 The Fanatic. Thursday, we got the Vikings and Eagles. Sunday morning, we got Ravens at Bengals. And then the Sunday night football, Dolphins at Patriots. In fact, I'll call it right here. I bet you guys win that one, Fish Tank. Then Monday night football, Browns at Steelers. Just a game I could care less about. Except for, how's the defense for the Steelers? Not great.
Well,
is there any bruisers on there who like to hurt people?
They didn't play well week one, but I don't know that means they're bad.
TJ Watt is on there, isn't he?
He is out there, yeah.
Does he get a lot of sacks?
Yeah,
He does.
Generally, yeah.
He was the only person last Sunday that looked like he knew what he was doing. So
isn't the younger brother? He's also on Pittsburgh, isn't he? Like a fullback or something?
Yeah, he's a fullback.
No, I'm just saying, if there's a chance that Deshaun Watson will get his legs broken, I'll watch. But outside of that, I just don't care about that game.
That's why I've got it circled when they play the Ravens.
Remind me.
I think the Steelers were embarrassed last week, and knowing Mike Tomlinson, I feel like he's going to have this team ready to play, especially against a division opponent like this.
Is he any relation to Mike Tomlin?
What did I say? I thought I said Mike Tomlin.
Oh, I didn't know if they were related or.
No, Mike Tomlin. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Hamlin Porter says, don't know if you guys saw this story, but a bar in Green Bay offered free drinks if the Jets lost. When Rodgers went down, people started running up their tab. And then, the look on people's faces at the end of the game was priceless.
That is exactly why they did that. You're right.
Yeah.
It's a gamble.
Yeah.
They got lucky. That bar could have been just destroyed with that one bet. I would shut that promotion down right now.
Well, they don't have to now because Aaron Rodgers isn't playing. So
Boomer Sooner says, wouldn't that be a larger shirt that makes you look skinny, not smaller? No, here's the thing. I got a couple of my night shirts are double extra large. So they kind of hang and just kind of makes me look bigger than I am. So then when I wear a smaller T-shirt, it's, sure, I still have this little, my little baby bump here, but the rest of me doesn't look as bad. So no, it's a smaller shirt, Boomer Sooner. Although the larger shirt to make me look skinny, that's a good tip. I'm going to think about that. Swuzman says, by the way, Cubs are here in town against the Diamondbacks this coming weekend.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate that, Swuzman, but we also appreciate the fact we beat the Mets, took that series 4-3, and of course last night the score was 4-3, and I'm pretty happy with how the Diamondbacks are doing. Unfortunately, the Dodgers aren't losing enough to close that. I just want the Dodgers to win the West, by 9, not 10. I want Ralph to be wrong about that. That's all I could ask for. But outside of that, every time we win a game, I'm happy. And this Pham kid, when he showed up and we paid some money for that, well, I'll tell you what, he has come to work and he's doing good things here, man.
He really has. He's been a great pickup for this team and exactly what we needed. A little spark in that lineup. He's helped us out offensively. But how about the pitching staff for the Arizona Diamondbacks on this stretch? We've won. I don't know, like 5 of 6 or something like that recently.
Sweden, that guy.
Okay, yeah.
Swollenholm. What's his name? The Swoodle of them. The guy who got the save last night.
Yeah.
Swazzle? Swoop?
No, that's not it. It's a Seawald.
That's it. Seawater.
Yeah. No, Seawald.
We thought he was going to be trash, but he's getting saves.
The thing about it is the Diamondbacks, they got Zach Davies back, who was on the IR for a little bit, and he's come back. He had like a back issue. He threw 4 pretty good innings last night. Gave up 3 runs, but he had 5 strikeouts. And then the bullpen came in, and they didn't really let anybody else get. Kyle Nelson gave up a couple of hits, but Luis Frias and Kevin Ginkel and Sewald, they came in and they shut down the Mets. Now we're talking about the Mets here, but we're talking about the Mets. They have a lot of bats on that lineup, and they've just fallen on hard times. So, congratulations to the Diamondbacks winning in extras last night. We had bonus baseball. It was 4-3 final score. They go again here today.
I got confused.
Yeah, well, we took 3 or 4 from the Cubbies.
From the Cubs. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking about the Cubs, meant the Mets. And then we play the Cubs again. So it's very confusing. Thank you for correcting that heavy metal maniac. That man should know he's going to be there. He says, yep, 3 games in a row against the Mets. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. Are we going to win any of these games, Randy?
Against the Mets?
Yeah.
We won last night.
I know we did, but I'm just saying we're going to win some more.
The Mets are terrible.
Yeah, I think we have a good chance to maybe even sweep them. Look, this time of year, it's win as many as you can and just keep winning, and good things will happen. Right now, we a game and a half up in the wild card, in the 3rd wild card position, and you just got to keep winning, man. You just got to keep doing your thing. Unfortunately, the Giants. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, here's why I care, because the Dodgers, they just lost to San Diego. Okay. So if they can lose to San Diego more and we can win against the Mets more, that gets us closer to the Dodgers and Ralph being wrong.
Yes, I understand. That's your goal.
That's my goal.
I get that. Well, again, you keep winning. Keep winning. You got to win when your opponents lose. So, when your other divisional mates, when they lose and you win, you gain ground on them. So, I'm this season for the Diamondbacks has just been crazy. It's been sort of a roller coaster ride. The Diamondbacks right now are in 2nd place in the NL West. Nobody saw that coming. Nobody saw that the Diamondbacks were going to compete for the playoffs this year. Nobody saw that coming.
Would have been nice if we didn't implode in some of the series that we should have won early on. Who knows where we'd be right now?
But this is a young team, and these things are going to happen. Especially, you've got a lot of young pitchers on this staff. They're going to make mistakes. We're talking about Fat. We talk about Zach Davies, who went down, who was hurt. I expect Zach Davies. He has the potential to be another Zach Gallen. We think about this. We could have 3 young pitchers that are absolute studs in Major League Baseball next season if Zach Davies can get healthy and take what he's learned this year and just have a great season next year. We could have 3 really strong horses out there in the bullpen that would help us out immensely.
Swazman says, sorry, but Cubs will have more fans than the Diamondbacks, kind of like Miami Dolphins in LA. Seemed like a home game. You might be right, but who cares? There's always been a lot of Cubs fans here in town. They spring train here. I remember going to Hocom Park when I was a kid and watching the Cubs. It's not great, but that's just the way it is.
Well, a lot of people moved here from Chicago as well. So I just hate to see Diamondback fans buy tickets and then sell them. I understand the whole free market and all that business, but to sell tickets to opposing fans just to make a couple of dollars, it just bugs me, man. Just bugs me.
So speaking of the Cubs, you remember Little Big League, that movie Little Big League, where the kid becomes the owner of the Minnesota Twins or some stupid crap. I don't remember it being a very good movie, but the gal who played the mom, Ashley Crow, her son Pete Crow Armstrong just got called up to the Cubs.
No kidding.
Yeah, as a player, not the owner. But he, that's kind of cool. I don't know if it was he born before or after that movie, but that was just kind of nice. And they had a nice moment when he showed up. So If you've seen Little Big League, the mom actually had her real life son become a Major League Baseball player. That was kind of sweet.
Cool.
Heavy Metal Maniac says the Diamondbacks have 12 losses. They still have a chance to have less than 10 losses behind the Dodgers for first place. So Ralph can suck it. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It only takes us winning a few and them losing a few, and then at least we got that. Baker's Cocky Hen says, I have Aaron Rodgers as my quarterback too in a super flex league. Now I'm forced to use Mac Jones. But I was on Jets money line and Jets to win by more than 5 last night. So that was nice. 4 dominant defenses now this season: Cowboys, Niners, Jets, Browns. The NFL should be good this year. The NFL has started out messy, but it'll all start to come into focus. And yeah, hopefully we'll have some good matchups. Parlay J says, I lost Rodgers in a 15-man, 2-quarterback league. I'm finished. Sorry, man. Can't you guys go get other quarterbacks?
If you're in a 2-quarterback league that's got 15 people, I think you are toast.
It's probably 2 or everybody's got like 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean, just to have depth. Yeah, I mean, you're kind of screwed.
Heavy Metal Maniac says, you know what? I love it. I enjoy it when the Cubs come to town because they drink lots and lots of beer and they tip. They know a hardworking guy when they see one. Wow, that makes me sad that your own hometown guys don't tip you as well, but go get that money when you can get it, right? Hey, any word on what the hell was going on with Brian and Nora, the umpire who suddenly ran off the field right in the middle of an inning? I think he might have had the Hershey squirts, but nobody says nothing about it. And he didn't even look pained or anything. He just like time, and he just pointed at somebody and he ran off the field. Somebody else had to come suit up and take over for him. One of the other guys.
Maybe he's got the Crohn's disease.
He's going to need a new profession if that's the case. But Brian O'Nora, hopefully there was nobody in the bathroom when he got there, because that's, I mean, we've all been there where you're just like, that's happened to me during the show. I'll be sitting there, ooh, gotta go. And it just comes out of nowhere.
It doesn't explain why he didn't return, though.
Well, maybe he was still holding on to the towel bar screaming sweet Jesus. Who knows how long that took?
Yeah.
You can't rush nature, man. We've all been there. So hopefully he's okay, I guess.
I hope so too.
Poor Derek Rose. Did you see this? Derek Rose, his wife is like, come on, we're going to see Drake. And, Derek is like, oh, okay, fine. And he's in town, by the way. I don't know why a Memphis Grizzly player lives in Glendale, but so Derek Rose goes to this concert. Drake comes out and does his Drakey thing, and somebody got video. The entire concert, Derek Rose is just sitting there on his phone playing chess. Credit to him for playing chess, but it was online chess. I don't know if it was against the computer or if he was playing against a person. But I got respect if you're playing the chess and not sitting there playing like Candy Crush or some crap. But yeah, I thought he liked Drake. Drake brought him out on stage back in 2016. So I don't know what his problem. Maybe he doesn't like the new music.
I think Derrick Rose likes the guy Drake. I don't know how he feels about the music. He's from Chicago. There's like a lot of legends from Chicago. A lot of great rap music from Chicago. Then there's Drake.
I just wouldn't go. If I didn't want to go, I wouldn't go. I just wouldn't go. You want to go? No, I don't want to go. But if I did go, I'd probably sit in there playing Scrabble online, maybe. A little that Words with Friends Scrabble ripoff thing that they do. I might do that.
Yeah.
But his wife tweeted, well, this is what happens when I make my husband go outside. Hey, listen, Derrick Rose worked very hard. He runs up and down a basketball court. He makes bazillions of dollars. He probably has a very nice mansion. And once you finally get that, why does he? I don't want to go nowhere either. He paid a lot of money for this place.
Both his knees. I think he he deserves to stay home if he wants to stay home.
I deserve to stay home. My wife is like, okay, well, we have this house, and it's here it is. This is the house we've worked very, very hard for. It ain't cheap. And then the first thing after we're like, oh, okay, we need furniture. Oh yeah, let's put some furniture there. We need to do this. Okay, we'll do that there. We got to pave part of the drive. Oh yeah, we'll do that. And then it's like, and now we have to go away. But I just paid for all this. This is cheaper still than any resort.
Yeah,
we've covered the overhead here. We've made this place nice like a resort because you wanted to. Why do you want me now to go to somebody else's resort? We have this resort. What? I just want to stay home. Is it just me? I don't think so. I think Derek Rose and I are like spiritual animals or whatever they call it. I don't know. He's my soul animal.
Well, I mean, like D Rose, I'm sure that you get swarmed by adoring fans whenever you go out in public.
No, that's really not the problem. Not the problem.
I'm
It's
sure.
more that I just don't want to be there.
Ah,
Just don't want to leave the house.
well, there's that.
Why would anybody want to leave the house?
I like leaving the house. I just have to.
Well, you live in an apartment, so
That's a good point.
yeah.
But it depends on where I'm going.
When I was single, I made my apartments nice. I didn't want to leave there either. I like to stay home.
If you're like, hey, let's go out. Okay, what are we doing? We're gonna go see Drake. I'd rather stay home.
Gonna stay home.
Personally, I'd rather
Oh
stay
yeah,
home.
I'm not going to a Drake concert. Sorry. Mm-mm.
So yeah, we're gonna talk some college football here in a minute. Just wanted to get Keon excited right there.
Did
Little
you
sparkle
notice
in his eye the minute I said that?
Did you notice that Drake? He was sporting the new book shoes, D-book shoes.
No, how would I even notice that? I didn't go to the concert.
Well, I thought if you saw that article, I mean, I would have thought you would have seen the picture.
I only read
of
the
him.
part that I cared about. I didn't care about the pictures. I didn't even look. Although I think I did see that Devin Booker came out on stage with him. Like Drake can't go anywhere alone. It seems like he always has to show up with somebody.
Yeah, he has to show off that he's got all these famous friends. Oh yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was that about shoes?
The new D-book shoes.
Are they cool shoes?
Apparently. I mean, I'm not one of those shoe connoisseurs. I don't have Jordans. I don't have any of these other shoes, the KDs and all these other shoes that are out there. I don't have that. I have Skechers slip-ons.
I got Skechers too. So,
but apparently he had the brand new D-book shoes on.
Are Skechers old man shoes now?
No, I don't think so.
Because I saw Howie Long wearing them. I got worried about that.
Well, Howie wears them. Tony Romo wears them. He's not old.
Now I don't want to wear Skechers anymore. Now I know Tony Romo wears them.
But they're comfy.
Yeah.
He's annoying.
I'm wearing Skechers right now.
Okay, but see, you're younger than us, but you're also older than you're in the middle. So I don't know.
What do you want to wear shoes that 20-year-olds wear? Why?
I used to. When I was 20, I wore Skechers.
Okay, but you're not 20.
I'm
not 20. I don't care what
Vans.
20-year-olds wear.
When I was a kid, I wore Vans.
Well, everybody
I got
wore
married
Vans
in
back
some
in the
Chuck
day.
Taylors.
That's
They're
kinda
leather.
cool.
They're leather, but I got married in them. I don't know.
It made them classy.
Boomer Sooner says, I don't want to leave my house either. Nice and cozy. Yeah, all the bad people are out there. All the good people are in here. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hokamani says, Derek Rose is my boyfriend at sporting events. That's why I just don't take him, except NASCAR or racing.
What?
I think she means her boyfriend is like Derek Rose at sporting events. So she leaves her Derek Rose at home.
I
think
that makes more sense.
Okay.
I'm going to assume that's what you meant.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Swazman says, see how I painted my own Cubs straw hat? Oh, that's a nice looking hat right there. You're very good at that stuff, man. Every now and then, Swazman will show me pictures of his painted straw hats, and those are professional jobs right there. That's good. Blissful Hayes says, Brett Favre to the Jets.
Brett Favre desperately trying to stay out of prison. I think that the Jets are the least of his concerns right now.
Heavy Metal Maniac says, that is not what I meant. Our fans tip. They tip just fine, just as visitors. Other visiting teams fans that don't tip worth a damn. Cubs fans tip well because there's a lot of them. And most visiting teams don't blame that many fans like they do. I didn't understand that. But if he feels better that I read it, I'm happy. Yeah. Boomer Cedar says, Skechers are awesome. That's it. They're old man shoes. He says, I wear them. They're comfy.
Didn't we actually have a contest once to see if Boomer Sooner was one of the older texters that we had?
No, he is older.
Yeah.
We've met him.
Yeah, I just couldn't remember if we decided it was him or somebody else.
The oldest?
As the
no,
oldest.
No, Boomer Sooner's not the oldest. He
Okay.
did hand me a Werther's original. I ain't lying, but he's not the oldest. I think we better take a break. We come back. Let's get caught up in the world of college football. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Imagine getting ahead of your irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C by treating it with Linzess. Then you could start proactively managing your constipation with belly pain and get ahead of your symptoms. Talk to your doctor about Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine what could relief from IBS-C mean for you. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Sponsored by Appy and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Football is back in full swing with another week of epic games. And who's got you covered on the action for every single one of them? DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can bet $5 on football and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Nobody's missing out on the action this season. All DraftKings customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every game day this September. Get in on the NFL Week 2 action with DraftKings Sportsbook. And the best part is you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the app now and use code BET1580 to sign up. New customers can bet just $5 and take home $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. That's code BET1580. The crown is yours. 21 and over. Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms.
It's the sound of the fight song, the excitement of the rivalry.
Auburn has won the Iron Bowl!
It's the unbelievable upsets. It's the Heisman hopefuls.
Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back!
It's the national rankings. It's college football.
The Sooners right down the field.
Tune in each Saturday for the college football game of the week. Listen for all the action, drama, and excitement on your home for college football. 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
I figured that would aggravate Boomer Sooner. He's like, yeah, take that break. If this 67 is old, well, bring it on. Boomer, you're not the oldest person who's listening. Well, you might be now. The other guy might have died. I don't know. 888-368-1580. Random texter says, I think the white and blue New Balance well, that's really the old man shoe right there. I see some young guys wearing New Balances though.
Kawhi is a New Balance guy.
I thought the Kirkland shoes you get at the Costco. I thought those were the old man shoes.
I thought those were the give up on life shoes. I'm not sure. Mr. Pink Eye says maybe Derek Rose's girlfriend listens to the show. Yeah, I'm sure. 888-368-1580. So let's talk about the state of college football. Here, let me just give you the quick part. Hey, how about your Texas, man? Number 11 Texas beating number 3 Alabama. You got to be pretty happy about that, Keon, right there.
Yeah,
Where's Arch Manning? Did he play?
Arch Manning did not play.
No.
He is a freshman, and Quinn
All right, we're
Ewers
done
is the
talking
guy
about
in front of him.
Don't care anymore.
Beating Alabama is enough to jump you from not ranked to number 4. So that's
is that what happened? They moved up to 4?
They jumped all the way up to the 4th spot.
We'll come back to that. Oklahoma State beat Arizona State. Of course, we all know about that. That was not great. Mississippi State got 5 turnovers and still needed overtime, but they were able to beat Arizona. So, hey, at least those bastards didn't win either. That made me happy. And then, of course, Deion Sanders and, his Buffaloes. How about that? That was it was expected though. You expected the Buffaloes to beat the Nebraska, right?
I picked them to beat Nebraska, and in large part because I thought, okay, this Colorado team does legitimately have great talent on it. The transfer portal experiment with Deion worked perfectly. He got all the guys he wanted basically, and then on top of that, Nebraska is in year 1 with Matt Rule, and they have a culture that needs to be changed badly. And he hasn't had the time to do all of that yet. This is what year 1 is for him. And he didn't get to the opportunity to raid the transfer portal like Deion did. So he doesn't have all the players that he wants in there. So it was a matchup issue for Nebraska from the very beginning. And, Colorado had all of the talent in the world to make him pay.
One other victory came to Oregon State and Washington State. They beat the Pac-12 in the courts, not a basketball court, in the court of law, and they have taken control of the Pac-12. Basically, since they're the only ones left, they were able to win their deal there. So the Pac-2 is now run by Oregon State and Washington State, and what was interesting is if you read what they were talking about, what the whole complaint was, it says Pac-12 should be determined by remaining members, not by those who are leaving the conference. That mean that ASU still had voting rights or something in the Pac-12, or are they just wanting to shut down George Kliavkoff?
A little bit of both. That you are still a member of the Pac-12 right now. If you're ASU, Arizona, UCLA, the USC, you're still a member. And those two schools are like, why are schools who've basically decided that they will no longer be part of this conference once the year is done, why are they determining the future of what this conference is? But also George Kliavkoff has been absolutely disastrous. He was put in a bad spot to begin with by Larry Scott, but he didn't make it better. He made it worse.
Meander is the word that comes up as we've watched George Kliavkoff do his clothing.
Yeah, and so he didn't get them even a remotely good deal. Had everybody stayed on board, the TV deal they got wouldn't have been great. Those schools don't want to be controlled by anybody right now, and they have a better chance of rebuilding something that actually helps them if they're the ones in control in the driver's seat.
Big George says, yeah, I was wondering what Randy and Keon thought about ASU's lackluster performance against Oklahoma State. I watched the game personally. I did. I watched the game and lackluster. That's pretty good. Apparently, ASU only plays hard in the first half of a game. Play calling was very suspect in the second half. All right. Well, Keon, did you watch the ASU game? What were your thoughts?
I did watch the game, and I think lackluster is probably not a bad way of describing it. But I really don't want to hammer this staff too hard and these players too hard 2 games into what they're trying to build here. You got to give them time. And part of that is they're inconsistent. We've seen it through 2 games. They're not a consistent football team. But that comes with growth. When you got a freshman at quarterback, you've got freshmen at other key positions as well. You got a coach that's a first-time head coach trying to figure out ways to scheme his team that they weren't the more talented team out there, but he tried to scheme them into victory. I thought the running back Scadaboo played a huge part in making sure that they were in that game. But once they fell behind and they couldn't really run the ball and they needed to throw, that's when they really got into a lot of trouble. And that's just going to take time to grow. That's going to take time to build. I'm not going to read so much into that. They were playing a team that was better. They played the best that they could, and once they got behind, they don't have the horses, as they say, to have that game plan where we can throw the ball downfield and we can catch up in a moment. They want to build that. That's the kind of coaching staff they have, but they don't have those players out there yet.
Is Scadaboo is he an NFL future running back?
Running back. I
love his name, and I just want to hear.
It's a fun name, and
Joe Buck have to say Scattaboo.
He's a
someday.
good. That would be funny. He's a good football player, but I don't know. I can't tell from what I've seen so far.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have like the NFL level, burst, that extra gear of speed, but maybe he can offer something else. So we'll see as the season goes.
Well, Keon, college football is your forte, so I will let you fill us in on other things that you think are worthy of conversation.
Yeah. Well, I thought there were some very, very surprising games that happened over the weekend. I know that the whatever went on with Miami last week, that was a particularly fun game. I thought there were some teams that really made some statements, some that tried to. Clemson tried to make a statement. They dropped 66 points on Charleston Southern, but it's Charleston Southern, so I don't know exactly what we're supposed to take away from that. I thought the Arizona Mississippi State game kind of showed everything wrong with Mississippi State right now, which is that they don't really have a quarterback that they trust and can rely on. Jackson Dart is somebody that's interesting because he's been heavily hyped in the past. I think he was playing at USC when he was a freshman. He's kind of bounced around schools now, and he's just not really the guy over at Mississippi State. And I think that this is actually kind of, outside of Georgia, like a down year for the SEC sort of overall, because it's not just Mississippi State. There was a little bit of vulnerability, with Ole Miss. There was some vulnerability, obviously, with Alabama losing to Texas. Like, I think the SEC is, I don't want to say they're falling off, but to start the season, they don't look like the dominant conference that we've seen in years past. So that was really interesting to see. Texas A&M losing to Miami, mentioned that earlier. Texas A&M is in a lot of trouble now because they were supposed to be a whole lot better than this. And it looks like it's the same old A&M, and Jimbo Fisher doesn't have answers. I don't know if he's going to survive the season, quite frankly.
Keon,
yes.
What about Florida State and Mike Norvell, former ASU offensive coordinator, and that Florida State Seminoles and what they're doing?
Yeah, I mean, they win week 1 against LSU, handle business there, and then they were playing Southern Mississippi. They just trashed them. No, Mike Norvell's a good football coach, and he is one of the guys that I look at when I see some of the struggles that ASU has. I look at what Mike Norvell kind of had to do year 1 at Florida State and the ups and downs of that season. And I've just sort of learned, like, over time, you just can't read too much into what a team is year 1. But Mike Norvell's got this thing humming now at Florida State, and you got to give him all the credit in the world, because I think that they have they have a national title contending team. They could make the playoff, they could make some noise, and if they were to win a national title, I wouldn't be completely surprised, to be honest with you.
I was drinking water. Sorry.
My bad.
Niner 1680 says, Keon, any chance Colorado loses this week? Well, if they do, they're going to do it in a very, very public style, aren't they? Because ESPN and Fox are doing their pregame shows out there in Boulder. I don't know what channel is actually airing the Colorado game, but boy, you win a couple games and you start to become a sweetheart. Now everybody's watching.
I believe they're over on the ESPN. That's a college game day.
All right. So what do you think? Does this continue? Like Niners 1680 says, any chance they lose this week?
I really don't think so. I think that the toughest team that they've played so far was Nebraska. Nebraska did get to Shadur Sanders, and Nebraska did get some shots on him. It just didn't stop him from throwing the football and being accurate and making good decisions overall. I don't know that Colorado State has more than what TCU has. I don't think Colorado State has more than what Nebraska has. So no, I honestly don't.
Boomer Sooner says, Keon, congratulations on your Texas win. They looked really good.
They did. And it's weird watching them win that way, because they were playing on the road. And if you didn't know any better, you wouldn't have guessed that they were the road team. They looked absolutely relaxed and comfortable. Even when Alabama started coming back in the game and it looked like, okay, here we go, Bama's going to get this thing back under control. They just answered with a couple of scores and kept right on going.
Big George says, Keon, I agree with you. The coaching staff for ASU is still growing, and this season really means nothing with the self-imposed bowl ban. So I look at this as a growing season. But what gives with Oklahoma State starting 3 different quarterbacks? Never seen that before in week 2 of the season. You notice that one of those quarterbacks, it was the coach's son.
Yes. Mike Gundy's son, Gunnar Gundy. That they're starting 3 different quarterbacks because they honest to God don't know what they have in any of these 3 guys. And they all bring something.
They honest to God don't know what they're doing.
I wouldn't say that because Mike Gundy's been a coach for so damn long. They don't have a preseason, so like you see it all in practice. And then the only games you really get to see the quarterbacks play are these early season games where you hope that shifting those guys around doesn't, kill anything that you want to do later on in the season.
All right. So what do we have as far as the poll? The AP poll is out, right? Is there any movement on that poll that you disagree with? Everything look like it's coming into a focus on what college football is going to be, at least for the moment.
Yeah, I mean, we're starting to see things really shake up at the top. I mean, obviously, Texas beating Alabama shook up a lot of stuff. Alabama fell 7 spots to 10, while Texas jumped up 7 spots to number 4. Florida State jumping up into the top 3. I think that's something that they deserve to see. Tennessee falling back 2 spots is weird because they're 2-0. They've won both of their games. Probably not as much as they would have won a year ago, but still, they're a good team. So for them to fall backwards despite winning, that seems odd to me. Colorado jumps up 4 more spots to the 18 spot because I think they're still tentative on Colorado, but I don't see how with their schedule, which is a tough schedule later on, but not that tough right now. I don't see how you get to be that tentative with them. That they should probably jump up a few more spots. Ole Miss jumped up some spots too. So yeah, I think that overall it's starting to come into focus, but there are some moves that are so drastic. Like I don't think Alabama's staying at 10.
Do you think Texas will stay in the upper 5? I mean, they jumped up 7, so they could easily fall right back.
They could, but I honestly think that this Texas team is for real. They have an actual defensive front, which I don't think I've seen in a very long time. And that offense is consistent. Like they just get down the field. They're very methodical. It's not looking for big chunk plays all the time. Sometimes they take what a defense can give them and they punish them. This is a good Texas team. I think they're finally figuring it out.
So who do you like more going through the season? Do you like Georgia, Michigan, Florida State? Who's looking like, okay, this is it. That's a solid team. That's a winner right there. Please don't say USC or I'm gonna hang up the phone.
USC is 3-0, and I still don't know if I believe in that defense. It's a legitimate concern. And every time I've sort of like listened to USC guys, they kind of wave it away like, no, the defense will get fixed. And I look at them play and they're winning these games. But every time I see the defense, I go, are you sure? Because at some point, you're going to not be playing the San Jose States of the world. You're going to be playing tougher competition. And USC's got a tougher schedule later in the back end. I think they play, like 9 teams, 9 Power 5 schools on the road. Like that's going to be a tougher schedule that they're going to have to be able to win some of these games by getting stops. I don't know how legit USC is. Georgia's obviously a legitimate school. Michigan is as well. I think Florida State is too. I want to say Texas is, but I just want to see them do it some more. And then, you got your usual suspects. Penn State's in the top 10, Ohio State's in the top 10, and Washington's been really good.
All right, we have to go for a break, but before we go, I have one last question. How scared are you? How scared are you that now ASU is in the Big 12 with Texas?
Well, I'm not scared is the answer because
you should
Texas.
Say no, nightmares at night, cold sweats. Why don't you just play along?
Well, because Texas is going to be in the SEC when ASU shows up to the Big 12. So
you guys left?
Yeah.
What the hell?
We
just got here
ages ago. The agreement
left before the party even started.
Before ASU even thought about going to the Big 12, Texas had already decided they were going to the SEC.
We'll be there soon.
We'll be waiting for it.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We've got a few other things to talk about, but we're heading right back for some more NFL fun. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at gawon'twait.com. That's gawon'twait.com.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All Star Sports Radio, celebrating their 30th year. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is offering a 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets.
It's called Bet Protect, the perfect offer for crazy plays, like the famous butt fumble. It's the GOAT of embarrassing plays.
Really, remember when you bet me you could do a live show with a GOAT as your co-host and he face-kicked you?
Thankfully, I didn't take the under on that one.
Anyway, folks, get Bet Protect today. The industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets. BetUS.com, where the game begins.
Hi, I'm Tom Horn, Arizona Schools Chief. My job is to encourage excellence in public schools, and Arizona does have excellent public schools. But if your school is not meeting your child's needs, Arizona has adopted Empowerment Scholarship accounts. The accounts help parents pay for any school of their choice, so Arizona students have every opportunity available. Learn more at azed.gov or call 602-364-1969.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Education.
It is Raymond and Austin on All Star Sports Radio. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is celebrating their 30th year. The can't miss offer. 125% sign-up bonus and up to 30 risk-free bets.
It's called Bet Protect, and you can only get it from BetUS.com. An awesome offer for this season's wild plays.
Nice, like that infamous tuck rule back in 2002.
Tuck rule, worst call in sports.
Man, you're like the old lady in the Titanic. It's been 21 years.
Hey, I'll be king of the world with Bet Protect. It's like having 30 get out of any tuck rule shenanigans in my back pocket.
But your back pocket is usually empty, bro.
Keep your shoulder pads on. Is there anything else about BetUS you haven't told me?
The less you know, the better. BetUS has live in-game betting, a 200% crypto sign-up bonus, and online casino for some blackjack.
You've been holding back.
Anyway, folks, get Bet Protect this football season. Visit BetUS.com for the industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus and up to 30 risk-free bets. Or give them a call at 1-800-MY-BET-US to get started.
The most important event in sports could happen at any time.
Like right now.
Or right now. Or even
now.
Don't miss history. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. And listen up, everybody. Here's the rundown for play-by-play this week. Thursday Night Football, we got Vikings at Eagles at 4:30 p.m. On Friday at 7 p.m., we got Globe versus Miami in the Who Gives a Crap Bowl. Can I just...
Now,
See,
wait a
Keon
minute.
doesn't understand. Globe and Miami are the armpit of Arizona.
Yeah,
that
but
is just a horrible, horrible place that doesn't need to exist.
But this is something for the high school kids. Come on, it's high school football.
Nothing against the kids. I mean, but this should be. We can't wait to get out of this hellhole bowl. If you're listening and you're a kid and you're in Globe in Miami, we're sorry. We'll send Red Cross. We'll send someone to help you soon, I guess. Just anyways, so then on Saturday we got college football, South Carolina at Georgia. That happens at noon. On Sunday morning, you got the Ravens at the Bengals. Sunday night football is Dolphins at Patriots, and Monday night football wraps up week 2, Browns at Steelers at 4:30 p.m. That is what we got going on there. Screaming Eagle says, hey guys, just now able to listen. What a crazy week 1. I'm sure you've already been discussing this. Both fan pick'em and fantasy football just went in the toilet.
Yeah.
Well, I actually won my fantasy football game. I was surprised. I beat Rosalie Michaels. So that means that I have now taken over being like completely undefeated by her. She used to beat me year in and year out, but lately I've had her numbers. So I guess it's my turn to go on a run. I mean, yes, she did auto draft, but guess what? So did I. So just saying. Randy won his fantasy football. Pretty good, right?
Thanks to my Dallas defense.
Keon didn't win.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
sorry,
he's not in the Premier
Sorry,
League.
Keon.
So, yeah. Anyway, so hopefully everybody else did better than we did. My picks were bust. Oh my God, my picks. I don't think I think this is probably about the worst I've ever picked. I don't know if I've ever done worse than 6. I remember getting downright depressed when I'd have 7. So, but listen, now we kind of know the rules. Now we kind of have a glimpse of what's really happening this season. It should all even out. Random texter says, call Jeffrey. What you're saying is the Miami and Globe Bowl would kind of like be Apache Junction and Guadalupe Bowl. Yeah, but see, in Miami Globe, I think they speak more clear English than Apache Junction does. Guadalupe, they're fine. Yeah, no, Miami and Globe just worse. Pringle says Jeffrey beat Rosalie. She's a fantasy football expert. Well, yeah, she's not perfect, and she's in Italy, and she did end up, auto drafting her team. But last year I beat her both times I played her, and she didn't auto draft that year. So, it's not that Rosalie's bad. It turns out, hey, I'm actually kind of good, Mr. Pringle. Problem is, I didn't score a whole lot of points to beat her, which means I got to get even better on the waiver wire. And by the way, you better put in a whole bunch of different combinations on the waiver wire because everybody is rushing to the waiver wire after this week. So many injuries. I'll cover the injury report probably tomorrow, just give you an update on what's going on with your favorite players, your teams. But it was a mess. Screaming Eagle ain't kidding. This was just an absolute mess of a NFL weekend all across the board. Upsets, injuries, you name it. Boomer Sooner says, Jeffrey, I leave my screen to come back and your frame is empty. Then you pop up from below. Well, yeah, I sit down in a chair back here. I don't stand the entire time. I'm like a boxer. I got to sit down and come out for the next round, ready to go. I'm just resting my legs here. Big George says, question for Keon Rose, 1580 The Fanatic. Are you open to any more questions, or
sure.
Have we ended the press conference?
No, we can keep going a little bit. Yeah.
Do you think Shedeur Sanders is possibly going to be a possible first-round NFL draft pick in the future? He's really showing something to me in early games. We'll see if it translates to a college football playoff berth or a Rose Bowl, but I like what I'm seeing right now.
I do too. I think that he's already propelling himself into the conversation if he keeps playing like this, because it's not just the results, which he's getting really good results. It's the process that he plays with. It's the fact that he's able to move defenders with his eyes and he navigates the pocket really well. And when he runs out of the pocket, he keeps his eyes downfield. There's just things that you look for at a next level quarterback. And he shows all of those things.
Hefty Lefty just now getting around to responding when I noticed that Mrs. Hefty Lefty and Hefty Lefty had the exact same number of right picks. And I was like, hey, that better not just be you, Hefty Lefty, twice. And he says, no, I assure you, Mrs. Hefty Lefty makes her own picks. I would not soil the integrity of a free jersey. You know what? I believe him. I do believe him. But by the way, I thought Hefty Lefty was going to win it, because when I last looked, he was just by himself with the most picks right. But now, like 9 people got it right. So then there was a tiebreaker that had to be used from Gridiron Games, and that's how Niner 1680 ended up with his free jersey. And by the way, Niner 1680, you'll be getting an email later on with instructions on the whole free jersey thing.
And by the way, Niner 1680, you missed it by one. It's actually you should be 1580.
Yeah, I wonder
15.
why he's 1680. Did we ever ask him that? Why are you 1680 instead of 1580?
I think maybe it was a mistake, probably drunk or something, but Niner 1580.
Yeah, but that's who he is now. So I kind of like it. I don't mind it. But if he wants to change it, I'll have to really think about it. Big George says, I think Rosalie needs to be supplemented as fantasy expert on 1580 Fanatic. Well, come on now, Big George. Yeah, she took a month off to go to Italy. I can't even begin to begrudge her that. Okay. Oh, that's right. He did explain it to us in the past. He says it's Montana and Rice's numbers. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, 16 for Joe Montana, 80 for Jerry Rice.
There you go. Okay. It's all
He's
good.
a
then.
Niner fan.
Yeah.
So it's a play on 1580. So it's Niner 1680. Yeah, it's not bad. Because you're Radio Randy. Oh wait, no, you're 777 still, aren't you?
I'm Radio Randy 777 because I can't figure out how to change the 777 to 1580.
Even I won't eat a hot dog for the Berg Keon. He put the 1580 on Sports Cloud.
Look, I've already explained this. I am social media challenged, and I've asked for help, and my phone does not ring. So,
well, next time you're sitting next to me, I'll help you with that. Just hand me your phone. I'll take care of it. You look suspicious.
Yeah.
And by the way, if anybody hears the puppy wailing in the background, Bebo had to be put in a crate. My wife had to go out, and so Buddy is right here with me because Buddy is not acting like a psycho right now. Buddy he's 2 years old. Bebo is 5 months old. And just before my wife had to go out and do a thing for a couple hours, Bebo leapt up to the counter and pulled down a ceramic bowl and smashed it on the ground because he was trying to get up there and say, hey, what's in there? And he knocked the bowl off the counter, scared the hell out of Buddy. Bebo then's run around part of the plate in his mouth like, hey, this is great. I got a little piece of plate. And luckily my wife was able to get that from him before he cut his mouth. So he has been sent to prison. He is currently in prison.
He's in jail. Yeah.
And he is very much protesting from
Yeah.
across the house. My wife is like, no, I'm going to put him in the crate in this other room. It's very far away from you. You won't hear it. Oh, no, I hear it. And the listeners might end up hearing it, too. Yeah. He's been out of control lately. You know, he's trying to show me how smart he is. I keep arranging this dog gate, and he's like constantly escaping. He's like, it's kind of like with Hogan's Heroes. He's like, every time you turn around, there he is. He's like, hi, I got out. I escaped. Ain't I smart? And I was like, yeah, you know, son. And he was digging a hole yesterday. He dug a hole. He's been pruning the bushes, which actually are, the lawn guy is going to appreciate, but we don't appreciate it. Bebo, he's out of control. And that's fine because that's what a 5-month-old puppy is. Completely out of control. So anyway, so if you hear the noise, that's what's going on there. I'm kind of glad we were too busy yesterday to talk about this. I am kind of glad we were so focused on all the different games that were played in the NFL on Sunday that we didn't even mention. Nobody even thought of the fact that United States lost to Canada and went away from the FIBA without even a bronze. No medal. One game you lose. Okay. 2 games. Or what? 3 to Canada?
Yeah.
127 to 118 in overtime was the score that United States lost by. But I have to appreciate Steph Curry and LeBron James and Anthony Davis. All these guys are like, oh, hell no. And they have all said, yeah, we're interested in jumping in and making sure this doesn't ever happen again.
Yeah. And I figured they were going to lose to Canada. Canada's got the most NBA players of any team they played. So if you're not going to be able to go ahead and beat some of these other teams that we saw them stumbling around to, then guess what? I don't expect you to beat Canada with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Lou Dort and RJ Barrett and even Dylan Brooks, who actually played his ass off in that game by being a complete menace, pest, and villain, which is his thing. But he struggled to do it in the NBA. He had no problems doing it on the FIBA stage. Yeah, the Canadians got a lot of NBA players on their team. And meanwhile, Steve Kerr thought, what if I filled this team with role players? And that's how we got here.
Do we blame Steve Kerr? Big George wants to, of course.
Not implicitly. Like, the guys that were out there were more than good enough to win games. But yeah, some of his rotations were insane. If you're going to have Brandon Ingram and what he can do offensively and then bench him for Josh Hart because you prefer his defense, then I'd like to see Josh Hart play, defense. He didn't do that. He just wasn't any good. You can't have stuff like that. They didn't hold a tryout. He just handpicked the guys he wanted. Well, you should hold a tryout. You should choose the guys that are the best when they show up.
Blissful Hayes is just being a hater. It says Booker, Durant, and Beal weren't good enough to make the U.S. team.
That's not true, though.
That is just
like
a lie.
You can, if it makes you laugh, you can say it, but you'd be wrong.
Well, I'll tell you what, we can't ever let that happen again. And I don't think they ever will let that happen again. How ugly. Raven Kid says Dylan Brooks dropped 40 points on Team USA. He was a fourth option on the Grizzlies. This wouldn't happen until Colangelo and
Fourth
Coach K.
option on this team, and he dropped 40.
Well, let's just forget this ever happened and make sure it doesn't happen again. We got 1 hour left of the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? But taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil supports your daily digestive health using a special plant-based fiber called psyllium. Psyllium works by forming a gel in your digestive system to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Metamucil's gelling action also helps to promote heart health and slows down sugar absorption to promote healthy blood sugar levels. Start feeling lighter and more energetic by taking Metamucil every day.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
It is Raymond and Austin on All-Star Sports Radio. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is celebrating their 30th year. The can't miss offer. 125% sign-up bonus and up to 30 risk-free bets.
It's called Bet Protect, and you can only get it from BetUS.com. An awesome offer for this season's wild plays.
Nice, like that infamous tuck rule back in 2002.
Tuck rule, worst call in sports.
Man, you're like the old lady in the Titanic. It's been 21 years.
Hey, I'll be king of the world with Bet Protect. It's like having 30 get out of any tuck rule shenanigans in my back pocket.
But your back pocket is usually empty, bro.
Keep your shoulder pads on. Is there anything else about BetUS you haven't told me?
The less you know, the better. BetUS has live in-game betting, a 200% crypto sign-up bonus, and online casino for some blackjack.
You've been holding back.
Anyway, folks, get Bet Protect this football season. Visit BetUS.com for the industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus and up to 30 risk-free bets. Or give them a call at 1-800-MY-BET-US to get started.
Football is back in full swing with another week of epic games. And who's got you covered on the action for every single one of them? DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can bet $5 on football and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Nobody's missing out on the action this season. All DraftKings customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every game day this September. Get in on the NFL Week 2 action with DraftKings Sportsbook. And the best part is you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the app now and use code BET1580 to sign up. New customers can bet just $5 and take home $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. That's code BET1580. The crown is yours. 21 and over. Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240U Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2,
What?
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. And the text line is bubbling with people saying stuff. Against the spread, hey, buddy, good to hear from you. It says, nothing like being a Bears fan. We absolutely still suck. Bears made Jordan Love look like Joe Montana, and then the moment Rodgers leaves Green Bay, he blows his Achilles in the first series. Guess he was tired from kicking all that Bear ass for the last decade and a half. Yeah. So I don't know how much more I can defend Justin Fields. Don't know, man.
You had this strong take about him, and week 1 is when you're like, you know what, I'm out.
I'm not saying I'm out. Did I say that? I did not say that.
You're asking how long you can defend him, but it's like one week in.
It's not where all last season, even when he failed, I was like, you know what? He's going to get some more players around him. Give him a minute. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I'm starting to lose the faith.
Why do these teams feel like they have to take a quarterback that's naturally gifted in being able to pass the ball, but also extend plays with his legs and try to make him a pocket passer? Why is that the NFL way? It's the same thing with Lamar Jackson this year. And they're trying to take a guy who was not a pocket passer, is a guy that could extend plays with his legs, and they're trying to make him a pass first a quarterback. And they're doing that with Justin Fields. I'll
tell you why.
Get it.
Because Cam Newton, that's why. They and other mobile quarterbacks who end up getting hurt. That's why they want the quarterback to be a quarterback and a runner as a second option. They don't want that to be the first option because you can have success that way, but then you have a shorter lifespan. So it's always that hope. Okay, we'll get him. Like what they're doing with Anthony Richardson too. They want him to be pass first, run if your life depends on it. But let's try to keep you out of injuries' way. And I think that's why they do that sort of thing.
It's sort of like this is how they got to the NFL, right? I mean, by using their natural abilities. This is how they got to the NFL.
Like a running back, it'll be a short career if you do it that way.
I understand that, but
I agree with what Randy's saying. I do think that it's not a bad idea what they're doing in Baltimore, because they went out and invested in the offensive line to make that happen. They went out and got the wide receivers to make that happen. In Chicago, they got the receivers. That offensive line is still bad. And I don't know how you can take a guy who naturally runs, like Randy said, and turn him into a pocket passer behind a line that can't maintain a pocket. What does that do? I don't get it.
Haven't these guys watched the Cardinals? I mean, that's exactly what the Cardinals try to do over and over and over again, is bring in a guy who's a pocket passer with a miserable offensive line. Although I think the offensive line this year is somewhat upgraded for the Arizona Cardinals, and I look forward to seeing what Monty Ossenfort does.
That first draft pick, Paris Johnson, on the offensive line, by the way, looked pretty damn good.
Well, exactly, and I feel like there's more to come here. I think that Monty Ossenfort understands what the priority needs to be. If you want a guy back there to be able to deliver the ball, you got to give him some time to do so. But holy cow, the Bears were just. And Fields just needs to be, hike the ball and run and pass it every once in a while. But, oh, my God, that was just ugly this past weekend.
You would think that the basic model should always be. Now, I lost Andrew Luck because they didn't do it that way. It should be you get a great quarterback, get him a great bunch of O-linemen, then you worry about everything else, especially somebody who's mobile. You can get quite a distance mobile as a quarterback. If you have a good O-line, or you can take the time to throw to mediocre wide receivers if you've got the time. Once you've got a quarterback that you believe in, the next thing is not wide receivers. The next thing is O-line to protect them. We lost Andrew Luck because of this. We've seen a lot of other guys kind of go before their time because they didn't have a good O-line. I mean, some people we've made fun of probably would have done better if they had a better O-line. I mean, we also say the same thing. Well, Brock Purdy, he had a really great bunch of players around him, so that made him look good. Well, yeah, if you go and get yourself a quarterback, make sure you're getting an O-line.
Well, I mean, with
so
Brock,
important.
with Brock Purdy, okay, granted, the guy was, he was a late, Mr. Irrelevant, right? I mean, he's one of the last players.
He was
picked.
literally the last guy.
And yes, he's in a great system, but you've got to be able to have enough talent to deliver the ball on target, on time. Okay, and Brock Purdy can do that. Brock Purdy doesn't make mistakes and throw the ball into the other team's hands. He delivers the ball on time and on target. And that's what sets him apart.
Yeah. Remember, I wasn't saying that they built that team around Brock Purdy. They built that team for Trey Lance.
Yes.
But they did surround him with lots of great players. I just said, as an aside, even somebody like you said, Mr. Irrelevant, if he has the right pieces. So if you go and get yourself an expensive quarterback, somebody that you're looking to build the next 10 years around, the first thing you should do, it's got to be an O-line, Randy.
Yeah. I for the life of me can't figure out why the Bears, can't figure that out.
They had all those picks.
Well, they did, but you part of it is sometimes you just have to take the best player that's there. You could try to reach for O-line, but if you really don't think that that's what's there, and they still have a ton of picks too. Like, I don't think that's necessarily clear to people. They haven't used all those picks. They still have picks to use next draft. And quite frankly, the draft after that. So this is a project. This was something that was going to take some time. I don't mind you taking the time, but if you are going to take the time and your line's not there, let Justin Fields run the damn ball.
Yeah. Yeah. Or at least these quick, in slant patterns that you see a lot nowadays.
Like the bubble screens, the slant passes. It's
jet sweeps, things like that, where you can get the ball out of his hands quickly and preserve him in some manner.
Because the game didn't get out of hand immediately. It was actually a pretty good game in the first quarter, when they had long drives that they could end with scores, and then at some point they couldn't get the drives to finish, and their defense didn't help anything. I mean, you could have stopped Jordan Love once or twice in that second quarter. You might have had something to come back to in the second half. Just didn't do it.
Stockton Slap says all this quarterback talk can be explained by the famous quote, "You can't turn a hoe into a housewife." I believe he means garden tool. You can't turn a running back into a pocket passer.
But these guys aren't running backs. Like they are quarterbacks.
He said running quarterback.
But you can, like it did. Steve Young was a guy that ran a lot, and then when he got to the NFL, he learned to play inside of the pocket. Michael Vick is somebody who ran a lot, and then when he came back to Philadelphia, he was actually operating inside of the pocket. I mean, he was still Michael Vick, so if he took off, you weren't going to catch him. But he was a pocket guy. Like, you absolutely can do this. It's not an impossible thing. Like the year Cam Newton won MVP, go back and watch it. That was a pocket passing performance. They only got the one, but they got him to be in the pocket. It's not this impossible task, but you do have to have a plan when you approach these guys.
No, you kind of wanted Shaquille O'Neal to learn to shoot a damn free throw. So you kind of want your quarterback to do more than run. I don't know. I think everybody wants a well-rounded player back there.
Yeah, you just got to take the time to develop. If you know that's his weakness when you draft him,
then you make sure there's an O-line around him that gives him that time, or you're going to end up losing him to injury. Or he's just going to suck. Blissful Hayes says Justin Fields has won 5 games and lost 21 as a starter. Experiment over. Bears need to release him immediately, and then play with who?
And then do what? No, I don't see. Like, this is the thing I don't get with the Fields hate is football is a team sport until we start talking about quarterbacks, and then all of a sudden
he says he's not a good passer. He can't read a defense. He had receivers open. He looks very uncomfortable in the pocket.
What pockets? That's what I'm like, we're missing the forest for the trees. He's not good at reading a defense. Well, if he had more time, maybe he would be. He's not good at reading a defense. He's not good in the pocket. What pocket? There's no pocket. I watched the games. I watched the whole game Sunday. There was no pocket. Dude was running for his life from the word go. And the only times when he wasn't He actually completed passes. Like, I don't understand what we're talking about
Or like
here.
Gino, oh my God, Smith.
Yeah,
That was so funny.
Oh my God, it was one of the funniest things that happened over the last week.
At least he said it manly. Oh my God. It wasn't like a shriek.
No, it wasn't a shriek. He's just like, oh my God, you just didn't see him.
Yeah.
This train's coming fast. Against the spread says they better protect Fields or he's going to end up in the psych ward in the mental institution, a little PTSD. Poor guy is probably scared to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night because he thinks a D lineman from Detroit's going to blast him in the hallway.
Look, he is starting to remind me of Houston Texans David Carr, where it's just there's so little resistance offered to the people coming through that offensive line. I don't know what you're supposed to do. What are you supposed to read? Like a 3-step drop, you got to at least be able to complete the 3 steps. You can't even do that.
Donnie says, guys. He says, why are you guys such Fields defenders? He stinks. I told you that preseason. I was right. I am starting to lose faith, Donnie, but I did see a lot of potential with that kid. If you put the right pieces around him and the right players in front of him, that, I really wanted to see him do well. And yeah, I'm kind of losing that faith a little bit, but it's still, we got to wait and see for sure. Blissful Hayes says, Keon, I didn't say I hated him. He just sucks. As a quarterback, I can't read a defense.
I disagree. I think if Justin Fields were drafted by an organization that actually had an offensive line and actually took the time and care to build one, he'd be a lot better. I'm not saying he'd be MVP. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to put him in the Hall of Fame. I'm just saying the Justin Fields we see now, when you say he can't read a defense, I want to know what reading you think is going to happen in the 0.25 seconds that he has to see things. What are you supposed to read?
Aiton's Army. Haven't heard from him in a while. He says, this is back to the Team USA thing. He says, Team USA could have also just put a true center on the team. Bobby Portis, Jaren Jackson Jr., they are not centers.
And once again, sorry.
Walker Kessler had no business being on that team with
Thank
only 1 year of being a pro under his belt. Guys like Robert Williams or Nick Claxton would have made a huge difference. Even our favorite joint smoking former Sun center, Rashawn Holmes, would have helped out.
I agree. Steve Kerr and this small ball death lineup that he's gotten used to in Golden State, I think he tried to do that with Team USA. You cannot small ball internationally if you don't have Steph Curry. I don't know if Steve Kerr forgot because he's so spoiled because he does have Steph Curry all the time. The small ball thing works because Steph is on the team. It can't work if you don't have a guy that shoots threes like that, and they don't.
It seemed like these guys lost a lot of steam when they lost that game, in the knockout round, and it put them in the consolation game. It seemed like this team just kind of gave up.
No goal for us, so I'll give up.
We're not going to get the gold. We're not going to try anymore. And I know Canada's got a great team, but it seemed like this team really lost a lot of steam when they lost in that knockout round.
Bad Fish says the first problem was having Kerr as the coach. We're going to really put a lot of blame on Kerr. Even Raven Kidd is like, yeah, look at this. We got mopey Steve Kerr and disgruntled Mark Few.
I mean, the rotations, like that whole coaching staff, but like Steve Kerr's the head coach. So like in all head coaching positions, you get the final word, you get the praise when it goes well, you get the blame when it doesn't go well. And the fact is the rotations were dumb. The fact is some of the decisions for who should be on this team. I think it was Aiton's Army that mentioned Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis starting at center. Are you serious? Multiple games. Like it does not work. And it's not, especially if you don't have elite shooting, which this team didn't have. There was actually a conversation between Steve Kerr and Anthony Edwards where he asked Anthony Edwards to come off of the bench. Now, I'm looking at this roster and going, behind who? Unfortunately, Anthony Edwards talked him out of it by saying, because he said, well, Dwayne Wade came off the bench, back in the day. He was behind Kobe. And Anthony Edwards said, that's great, but where's our Kobe? You don't have one. Like you can't take Anthony. You can't bring Anthony Edwards off the bench. That was even an idea that he had is fireable. Like that is, I don't even know how you explain around that and put that anywhere else but in the lap of the head coach.
Bala 51 says flag football and glamorizing skill positions has led to the demise of O-linemen. No kid wants to block all game and get zero credit, yet all the blame when they give up a sack. Yeah, but here's the thing, Ball of 51. Those guys get paid. If you are good at that position, you make more than a running back. You can make more than a running back. I don't know.
You can, but I do think there is something there, because I remember being a kid and watching football, and then being a younger adult and watching football now and going, it feels like we have so many more worse O-lines now than we've ever had. And I don't know why that is, but it just feels like there's a ton of them.
Well, yeah, I guess they got to start teaching kids, hey, big boy, come here. It's got to be a big boy. It's got to be a big kid. Hey, come here, Bubba. Listen, this is how much this guy makes. This is how much this guy makes. If you go for this, running back. Sorry, if you're short, no, you're running back. Sorry, you can't be a lineman. You're too short. Sorry. Yeah, I need somebody who's 6'5", 300 pounds. That's what we need. Hefty Lefty says, Ant must have not noticed Hillbilly Mamba hustling out there.
Austin Reeves was hustling, but Anthony Edwards was.
Is that what we're calling Austin Reeves? Hillbilly Mamba?
Well, yeah, I've heard that nickname bounced around a little bit. It's kind of funny. But look, Anthony Edwards was playing his ass off this whole tournament. So I don't know that necessarily we're going to put that on Anthony Edwards, because Anthony Edwards was the reason why I forget what game they lost in the knockaround off the top of my head. But he's the reason why they were even in it at the end, is that Anthony Edwards would not quit.
Stockton Slap says, any quarterback would benefit from better O-line. The question is if that specific quarterback is worth investing so many resources into. But you're not investing the resources of a good O-line into the quarter. Look at what happened with the 49ers. The 49ers were trying to put a good team around Trey Lance. They ended up putting that good team around Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. Now, yeah, Brock Purdy turns out kid's pretty talented, but they didn't know for sure that was going to happen. Nobody knew that was going to happen.
He would have been last.
Yeah, he would have been picked last in that draft. So the team benefits. You have an O-line where one quarterback goes out, another one comes in and can survive. That is worth every dime you put into it. It doesn't matter. If the quarterback isn't worth it, he's going to fizzle out, and you're going to be bringing somebody else in, but at least you're going to survive some games without being destroyed like the Giants, dear God.
Yeah, it's like, it's not a worth it, because is it worth it to build an offensive line in front of that particular quarterback? Any quarterback would benefit. You just said it. So that means you could be rolling with any quarterback. If Justin Fields turns out to not be the guy, and that's possible, then you still have an offensive line. But it doesn't make any sense to not build it and then blame him, because you're going to throw some other poor kid back there and he's going to die behind the offensive line. And then you know what people like you will be saying about that kid? Maybe it's not worth investing in him either, because he still wouldn't have an O-line.
Listen to a guy who lost a generational talent for having a bad O-line. I lost Andrew Luck because of having a bad O-line. Believe me when I tell you, no matter who the quarterback is, your O-line will get you two things. It will protect whoever you have at quarterback. It'll help open up the running game if your quarterback is booty. And it also becomes an attractive place for a free agent quarterback to want to come, because you think that's not the first thing they wonder about. Wonder how that O-line is over there. It's a good O-line. All right, I'll go over there and play. Yes, Randy.
I have a question. I thought John David Booty no longer played football.
No, booty as in ass, as in trash.
Sorry. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I heard you say booty, and I thought,
different booty. Yeah. This hour of the Daily Blender is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS celebrating 30 years with a special football season offer, up to 30 risk-free bets. It's called Bet Protect. Get started today at betus.com. All right, let's take a break. More of this when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
Yankees pitcher Garrett Cole is the favorite to win the American League Cy Young Award at minus 1,700. Seattle's Luis Castillo is at plus 1,000. Minnesota's Sonny Gray plus 5,000. Kevin Gossman is also plus 5,000 to win the Cy Young. Blake Snell of the San Diego Padres, he's the betting favorite to win the Cy Young in the National League at minus 220. Justin Steele of the Cubs at plus 220. Arizona's Zach Gallen plus 800. Zach Wheeler of the Phillies is at plus 9,000. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Section.
Hey, gang, sorry I'm late. The other surgery went a little longer than anticipated.
Nah, you haven't missed much.
Oh, good. What's this guy getting? A car?
He's selling his kidney to get a new HVAC system installed.
An overpriced HVAC system. This is like the third person this week.
So you think the hot weather's over? Not if your AC isn't keeping you cool. That's why thousands of Arizonans depend on Desert Diamond Air for 24/7 emergency service, to diagnostic checkups to full replacement. Desert Diamond specializes in both residential and commercial HVAC systems with competitive pricing and experience to service and repair all major AC brands. And with federal tax credits up to $2,000, it's a great time to replace your AC system. Go to desertdiamondair.com or call 602-609-7288. That's 602-609-7288. Or search Desert Diamond Air on your mobile phone today.
Are you ready for the NFL season? Are you ready to win $1,580 in cold hard cash? Sign up today for the Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. Get over to 1580thefanatic.com and sign up today. Someone needs to win this $1,580 first prize. Why not you? Finish in second place. Cha-ching! You win $500. The Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. Sign up today at 1580thefanatic.com.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I don't think we're going to have time today, but I bet we'll talk about that Trotter thing tomorrow. More information coming out about a couple of NFL owners saying some stuff where you're like, oh, hey, if I'm a lawyer for the NFL, I'm like,
settle, just settle. You just need to settle this. Oh my God, please settle.
Holy crap, the things that are being said. We'll go deeper into that tomorrow because I have a feeling tomorrow there'll be even more to go into. Because today I had one thing to tell you about. Then I looked down like, oh, Jerry Jones too. I guess I have another thing to tell you about. Tomorrow should be even more interesting. And wow. Anyways, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that later. Let's get back to the text line, 888-368-1580. Rough Rob says, Vinny Testaverde ready to go for the Jets. Is he even alive?
Yes. Vinny Testaverde, no. Yeah. And also, didn't Vinny Testaverde tear his Achilles with the Jets too?
Vinny Testaverde is not alive?
No, he's still alive, but he's not
Yeah.
playing.
He's not playing. No.
Yeah, in Keon's mind, if you're not playing,
Not playing,
you're
you're
dead. You're
dead.
dead. You're past.
No.
Lefty says General Booty is playing though. Blissel Hayes says I would have respected LeBron more had he played with this U.S. team.
Isn't General Booty John David's brother? Am I wrong about that?
There was a Booty in Buckaroo Banzai. Remember? Did you see that movie, Keon? Have you ever seen the Buckaroo Banzai?
I can't say that I have.
You should. It's so silly. It's a sci-fi thing, and there's aliens and a car that can drive through a mountain. And Jeff Goldblum is in it, and Peter Weller is in it, and some gal is in it, and then a bunch of people are. And John Lithgow is in it, and so is Doc from Back to the Future is in it. All these guys are in it, and the main bad guy's name is John Booty. I bleep you not.
Wow.
Buckaroo Banzai, and I think the fifth dimension or something.
I don't know if he's related, but third string quarterback for the Oklahoma Sooners, General Axel Booty.
Yeah. Don't just blow me off on Buckaroo Banzai.
I'm not.
Yeah, I don't see you writing it down. You really need to see Buckaroo Banzai across the eighth dimension. Yeah.
Across the eighth dimension. Okay.
There's only the one movie. So
okay, gotcha.
You can get that one number wrong. I'm telling you right now, it's a silly movie sometimes, but it's a good movie other times.
I am not blowing you off.
You got to see that movie. You'll look at that and be like, wow, old Doctor Who had a better budget than this, but it's an amazing movie. All right. So my first week with the NFL Sunday Ticket has come and gone, and I hate it. I don't like it. I don't like it. You can only get 4 on the multi-screen. So the way I did it in previous years is I got my big TV. I watch a game on that. On the little TV, I have all the different games on, or at least as many as can fit. It was 8. There'd be 8 little screens there, right? And so then I could go, oh, that one looks good. And I could flip to that and see what's going on. Easy, right? Well, with your remote control, you can't do it quite the same. And then you can only have 4 screens at a time. You can't have a bunch of them like you used to with DirecTV. So I was bummed about that. But I was like, I asked my wife. I was like, we could bring a second 50-inch TV in, go on the other side of the big TV, and then I could have 8 screens at least that way. And she's like, we did try one time to have 2 TVs in there on the other side, and we got radiation poisoning. There was just this so much TV light hitting us.
Yeah.
And so the other thing is the old DirecTV version, you'd have, if it was a commercial, it still had the score on the screen. It would tell you what game it was, and you'd still have the score no matter what. So I kind of missed that. Little, I guess, things, but when you're paying that much for it, though, you want it to be versatile and right. So I don't understand why they don't have at least the 8-game multi-screen that I can just put there, and that way I don't have to keep flipping around and doing whatever. The other thing is you can't pause the multi-screen. There's nowhere for you to hit pause, so that if your TV, the multi-screen, they didn't have enough choices. So sometimes on the TV, I had a game, and then on the multi-screen, that same game was there, but I couldn't pause that to let the other one catch up. So I wasn't getting spoilers on the small screen. So that was kind of messing me up. Big George says, Jeffrey, what are you talking about? He says, that NFL Sunday Ticket thing on YouTube's amazing. I use it to watch Arizona Cardinals and Bears games on Sunday. It worked flawlessly. Streaming quality was great. Yeah, I didn't say there was any issues with the streaming quality, although the color with YouTube TV, I had to completely reconfigure every TV that has YouTube TV on it, because it looks funky, so I had to kind of retune my TV so it would look good. That is a true thing about YouTube TV. But I'm talking about the fact that I can only have 4 games on the one screen. So if I want, I got to bring in a second screen so I can have all 8, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, J-Rod says, secret is you get 4 TVs. all about 35 to 40 inches. You put them up on the wall in a square. Then you can watch 4 different games, but the screen isn't so big, it blinds you. We did this in our garage one time. Well, that's even more TVs. I don't mind having 2 TVs on the other side of one big TV. It's just, this is a lot of TV. 4 TVs, even worse.
But they're small.
Yeah, smaller. I get what you're saying. I don't know. I don't think I get away with it. Do I have enough TVs around the house? Probably. We have way too many TVs in this house. Would I get away with it? No, I'm not going to get away with it. Hey, there's rain in the North Valley, says Boomer Sooner. You know what, Randy? This is a good time. This, I believe, is a good time for one of your weather reports.
This is it, huh?
This is the moment we've all been waiting for.
All right.
Give us the weather.
From the 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist, the Weather Hefe, coming at you live. Yeah, there is a series of thunderstorms moving across the valley. There looks to be another severe thunderstorm warning up in Cave Creek area. So if you're heading that way, be careful. Lots of lightning, lots of activity out there today. Currently 92 degrees, and there is a good chance of thunderstorms throughout the evening here. The low will get down somewhere around 80 degrees tonight. Tomorrow, we're expecting highs back up into the hundreds as we move through the week. 110 is probably in our rearview mirror. So,
thank God.
97 tomorrow, 100 on Thursday, and then back down to the mid 90s by the middle of next week. From the 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist, the Weather Hefe, Randy White. Back to you, Jeffco.
Thank you, Randy. Appreciate that. Big George says, hey, I hear you about the multi-view, Jeffrey. It is frustrating, that you can't even choose which games you want on the multi-view. I wanted to have the Bears game in the red zone on one screen, but it wasn't an option. You got to take the options given to you by YouTube, so there's zero customization on the user end. And listen, I was okay with that. We had zero customization when it was DirecTV. DirecTV would have a bunch of games, like 8 games on one screen. Your next choice was 4. Your next choice was another 4. It was like different variations. And, I don't mind that as long as on one screen I can get 8 games.
So did you go to settings on the YouTube TV?
Yes, Randy. I went to settings.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Anyway, here's what happens is that you hit to the right on your remote.
Didn't mean to offend you there. Right?
It's like my wife. Did you?
I do apologize.
Did you hit the thing? Did you look at a thing? Yeah. You hit to the right, and then it says multi-view, and then you hit multi-view, and it gives you the choices. So there's nowhere else I could see where you could do that.
Bastards.
Blissful Hayes says, first world problems. Oh, not getting 8 games on one screen. My condolences. Hope you're going to be all right.
Well, he did say he was nitpicking. Okay.
Yeah. And listen, it worked that way last year, and I'm just bummed it didn't work this way. And listen, I work hard for my money. So hard for it, honey. So you better treat me right. If I'm going to go ahead and drop this money to see the Sunday ticket, and it's on a new carrier, so it's relevant. Listen, some people are getting free Sunday ticket from their Verizon. Some people are getting the student discount. Some people, I think DirecTV trying to get people to come back says, hey, we'll give you a $400 gift card so you can get your Sunday ticket on us. They're just desperate over there.
Wow. And so they'll be willing to pay the company that took the DirecTV from them just to get you back on.
And guess who's mad about that? The people who are getting the money anyway. YouTube TV is like, whoa, that's making it sound like you guys have Sunday ticket. We have Sunday ticket. So there's probably going to be a lawsuit about that. But yeah, man. I mean, I just want it to be as good as what we pay for. There's a lot of hardworking Americans spending their money on this Sunday ticket. So it's not just first world problems. It's any world problem if somebody's going out of their way. I'll be honest. That's the one thing my wife and I really splurge on is this Sunday ticket because she loves football as much as I love football. And, I ain't going out I didn't buy a boat. I'm not going out on vacations and stuff. Not really, not out of the country. I'm not doing crazy rich guy stuff. I get the Sunday ticket.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
You
my
know-
splurge.
You know what first world problems are? There's still problems. Like obviously you got to put it into the right scale. You're not saying that you're doing worse than someone who's starving or something, but it is a problem that you bought something. It costs a lot of money. It used to work better, and now it doesn't work as well. What anybody can complain about that. That's
Well,
like a normal thing.
I mean, it's the first season. I'm sure they'll make adjustments. I mean, YouTube
Sure.
TV's got to make some adjustments here, obviously.
I'm a very simple man with very simple wants and needs. And what I want and need is put the damn 8-screen thing up there. And just why wouldn't they do that? Why wouldn't they look at the way DirecTV was doing with it's the same company, Sunday Ticket, and just do the same thing? Why wouldn't they do it the same way?
See, I don't know, and sometimes that happens to see what they'll get away with. But I can say with certainty, you're not the only person that realized that. You're not the only person that noticed that, and I am sure they will make adjustments.
You want to hear something funny? My wife saw that old dopey Jeff Bloom from Palm Springs. He can't quite figure it out, so he brought in every TV in the house into one room. He couldn't figure it out. He's just like, I gotta get all these TVs in here. And somebody on there's like, hey, you got a four you can have 4 on one screen, right? Okay. He's got TV.
I mean, if that's the way he wants to do it,
I told my wife, stop telling me what he does. I had to stop following him.
Poor Jeff.
But I
He's too
doubt
much dumb.
I doubt that's exactly how he wanted that to go.
Poor Jeff.
Whistling Gerbil is on the text line, says, why can't I pick my own 4 games either? That preset is doo-doo. I know. I would have been pretty happy with that because I didn't want to see the game that I had on the big screen on the little screen too, because there's no pause effect on that. So Big George says, Jeffrey, you're right. Buying the NFL Sunday ticket was a tough financial decision for our family. We're not renewing our Disneyland annual passes so we can afford the NFL Sunday ticket. Right choice for the kids? Maybe not. Right choice for the adults? You're damn right. Absolutely.
George, why do you have so many fireplaces in your house, by the way?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. George posted on Twitter. He's like, hey, look, I can see Diamondbacks on one screen, and he pans over. I can see the Cardinals in the other. And there's a fireplace by each one of them TVs.
Both rooms. Yeah.
It's got like two living rooms and 2 fireplaces.
George, do you have a fireplace in your bedroom too?
It's a lot of fireplaces. And it's San Diego. How often do you ever need the fireplace?
You couldn't possibly. Maybe once a year.
I liked what Ryan Reynolds put this post up on the internet. He's like, our daughter was so excited. He's like, yeah, it's a finally, we met Mickey Mouse in person. We couldn't wait to go home and tell her about it.
Damn.
There's a picture of him and his wife with Mickey Mouse.
Savage.
Just
savage.
That's a Big George right there.
Wow.
He says, it was weird seeing Dumbo on the NFL Network studio show yesterday. I miss having him on the DirecTV NFL Red Zone channel. I liked him better than Scott Hansen, actually. He's talking about Pellisario. Was that
Andrew Siciliano.
Yeah, I know.
It's the biggest ears in broadcasting.
You call Siciliano Dumbo?
I mean,
he's got the ears, right?
I mean, they are out there. He could take flight at any moment. It's not
the gust of wind, and he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Lost Toby says the fireplaces are for the yearly jersey burning. No, he doesn't burn jerseys. He would burn coaches. He wants to fire everybody
if he could. Yeah.
Bite My Kebab says, which quarterback do you think will have a better year? Kenny Pickett or Justin Fields? Ugh.
Kenny Pickett.
Ugh.
I want to say Kenny
Justin
Pickett
Fields.
in just in terms of that's a more stable
Kenny
offense
Pickett
that they got going on.
He's got a better coach. He's got he has that experience. It'll be Kenny Pickett.
That is a good question, Bite My Kebab, followed by another good question. He says, I need somebody to explain to me the quarterback rating structure. How can Aaron Rodgers have a 39.6 quarterback rating? Yeah, because didn't Daniel Jones have like an 8.6? I mean, how do you end up with 39.6 when he didn't do anything? He didn't complete a pass. That's a good question. You know what? Let's take a break and maybe we can answer that when we come back, or maybe we won't. We'll forget it ever happened if it's too hard. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
It is Raymond and Austin on All Star Sports Radio. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is celebrating their 30th year. The can't miss offer. 125% sign-up bonus and up to 30 risk-free bets.
It's called Bet Protect, and you can only get it from BetUS.com. An awesome offer for this season's wild plays.
Nice, like that infamous tuck rule back in 2002.
Tuck rule, worst call in sports.
Man, you're like the old lady in the Titanic. It's been 21 years.
Hey, I'll be king of the world with Bet Protect. It's like having 30 get out of any tuck rule shenanigans in my back pocket.
But your back pocket is usually empty, bro.
Keep your shoulder pads on. Is there anything else about BetUS you haven't told me?
The less you know, the better. BetUS has live in-game betting, a 200% crypto sign-up bonus, and online casino for some blackjack.
You've been holding back.
Anyway, folks, get Bet Protect this football season. Visit BetUS.com for the industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus and up to 30 risk-free bets. Or give them a call at 1-800-MY-BET-US to get started.
Screen time's over.
Be home by 11?
Put your phone down while we're eating.
When parents set boundaries, keep track of where their kids go, and talk to them about the dangers of underage drinking and drugs, they keep their kids safe. Visit TalkNowAZ.com. Be the influence. Talk early. Talk often. Talk now.
Thanks. Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
One of the most common questions people ask is if they can still afford to retire on $1 million or $2 million anymore. With stocks near all-time highs and bonds at all-time lows, it's actually a great question. 2008 taught millions of retiring engineers, teachers, and other professionals a costly lesson that years of market gains can be wiped out in just weeks of market losses. Not a problem if you're 30 years old with a few decades to make it back, but not if you are in retirement or almost there. I like to follow the 30-50-70 rule. The closer you are to 50 or 70, then at least 30 to 50% of your money should be kept safe at all times, like in an uncapped, principal secure, next generation annuity. Come and see why.
Call leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now at 480-902-3333. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so compare with Steve. Call 480-902-3333 and visit IQannuity.com.
Download the Fanatic app. News, scores, social media updates, and more on your smartphone, on your tablet. The free Fanatic app, available at the Google Play Store or the App Store, and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. So did we figure it out why Aaron Rodgers has a 39.6 quarterback rating and Daniel Jones had an 8-point-nothing?
Not quite. There's, as you might have suspected, lots of math involved. You're counting. What are you counting? You're adding the completion percentage, yards per attempt, touchdown percentage, interception percentage, and then your fumbles. You're subtracting 0.30 from that, and then you're dividing that by 6. And at that point, I was just like, how much number crunching in my mind am I willing to do?
Bite Micah Bob, the answer is nerds. 888-368-1580. I don't know. Against the Spread says the cool thing about Andrew Siciliano's ears is the fact he can pick up any radio station on the planet Earth from any location. That guy could be trapped in a cave in Turkey and still tune into the Daily Blender.
Wow. That's just mean.
He's lucky. No, it's not mean. That's awesome.
Mean
Good for him.
spirited.
If it were actually true, it would be awesome.
Against the Spread also says, as a Bears fan, it is pointless to get the NFL ticket. Why pay money to increase personal misery watching a terrible team? I'd rather do yard work than watch my own Bears.
Well,
because it's your team. I don't know.
There's that.
No, I have felt that way in the past about my Colts. I mean, there were times when my wife is like, "Oh, your Colts are on. You want to put them on the big screen?" No, I do not. I really do not. No, thank you.
And there have been
Pass.
seasons with the Commanders where I didn't finish games, but I always start them.
Well, I can see it. I can see it, Keon, in that little screen. That's where it deserved to be for quite some time. I was like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of little blue guys running around. All right, good enough.
All right, they're all still alive. Good for them.
That's cool. Lost Toby says Josh Allen will have more passes caught by Jet players than Aaron Rodgers. Balls of Fury says, what is this? No, he's like, you can buy these fake fireplaces. That's paper. That's a cartoon fireplace. That's not what George had.
George has like a legitimate fireplace in what appears to be at least 2 different rooms.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that there could be more.
They're real Balls of Fury. Big George says Jeffrey. I read that one. Never mind. Sorry. The Hefty Lefty says more thunderstorms.
Yes. Yes.
They're going to miss Queen Creek, I think.
Well, there's a huge storm system that's sweeping across the valley. When I say sweeping, I mean moving at a high rate across the valley. I mean, as I look at the Fanatic radar here, it is moving quickly across the valley. So it could be a very active night. If you're not expecting it, it could happen. I mean, you just don't know what's going to happen.
But if you're expecting it, it won't happen.
Maybe. I mean, like, New River, Black Canyon City, Cave Creek, they're all getting pounded right now. We've got some out here in the West Valley, Buckeye, Goodyear, Verado, they're all getting it. The East Valley, I don't know what happened to yours out there, Jeffco.
It's just missing us. We're getting missed by everything.
Well,
by the way,
right on top of you there for a while.
I saw this story about the homeowners association in Verado. This dude had AC and by J like van or whatever, and it's like 10 feet tall. It's one of those guys. And he wasn't. I guess they were trying to get. You can't park that in your driveway. He's all, I clearly can't park this in my garage. I don't have a 10-foot tall garage door open.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, we're going to start fining you. And he's like, well, I got to start moving, because you know how we've seen the stories when the homeowners association start coming after you, you lose your house before you know it. So he's like, no, I've seen this movie. Bye. So he's like, I think it's crap that they're doing that to the poor guy. He tried to get a waiver, but they're like, no. I hate homeowners associations. I hate that. I hate how they do. I mean, common sense and a little compassion would go a long way.
I am on board with you, my friend. On board with you.
Let's see. Lost Toby says if the Jets trade for their former first-round pick, Sam Darnold, to replace their current first-round draft pick, who they got to replace the former first-round draft pick, it would be the most Jets thing the Jets could ever do.
It might actually be 2 Jets for the Jets to do. I don't even think even the Jets would do that.
It's extremely Jetsy. By the way, we were talking about the NFL Sunday Ticket. Even with it not being as good on YouTube as it was on DirecTV, they have more subscribers on YouTube this year than they had on DirecTV last year. And I think the reason is people realize, well, DirecTV is expensive, more expensive than YouTube TV. And then they're like, well, hell, if I save the money by having, this is the math I did. If I save the money by having YouTube TV rather than having cable or DirecTV, then I can afford the NFL Sunday Ticket. And I think that is why you see more people actually getting that Sunday ticket. So I've been okay with YouTube TV. I've been okay with it. It's just, we know what I miss? Changing the channels up and down. You can't do that. There's no button that you go up, up, down, down.
No,
you have to hit the back button and look at the guide and go to it that way.
Yeah.
I wish they just had a button.
And there's no real channel numbers. There's no channel numbers.
Yeah. I miss the sort of going through the channels.
Yep.
Maybe that just means I'm old. I don't know. Last night's game, the Jets versus the Bills, that had the biggest Monday Night Football audience for ESPN. I didn't say the biggest ever Monday Night Football, biggest for ESPN, 22.61 million average viewers.
Well, it's, back to football weekend.
I feel like that number went down substantially in the first quarter.
Potentially, it looked like it was a great game coming, and then very quickly it was not that.
That I mean, that was supposed to be a good game.
It wound up being entertaining to a degree, but only because Josh Allen helped things by not being good.
I don't know why we kept watching, but we did. I even think I said to my wife, well, we can watch something else if you want to now. And she's like, no, let's play this out. Let's see how and then we got an overtime. So that was interesting. By the way, I was wondering about this last week. Remember we were talking, I said, I wonder how this new kickoff return, rule change is going to go. Well, guess what? Week 1 had the lowest kickoff return rate since 2000. 20.5% of the kickoffs in all games were actually returned. Outside of that, everybody else just took it at the 25. They just let it go to the back of the end zone. Nobody tried to return it hardly. I was surprised to hear 20.5% because I don't remember seeing anybody run it out of the end zone. I think they did in desperation times, like, well, we might as well see what happens. But outside of that, this is the new thing. They'll kick it off. They'll pretend like they care. Nobody's going to run it out. And then it's just 100-yard dash for no reason for a bunch of players.
Because it's just, you got to kind of do the math on it. Like if you look at the ball and you're like, okay, this is going to go deep in the end zone. And you look at the coverage out there and you go, can I get past the 25? Because if I can't, I'm not helping the team. I'm actually hurting everybody by taking it out. So
don't take it out unless you can guarantee you can get 26 yards or more.
Yeah, it's just not worth it to get chewed out on the sideline by your special teams coach because you took it out and then got to the 17 when you could have just gotten to the 25 for far less work.
Right. Yeah.
There was only one of those fair catches that they did to get to the 25. Everything else just rolled in the back of the end zone. That's just all right. I guess it gives you here's the thing. I think I understand why they did it this way, because there's still a chance somebody's going to run it out and do something amazing. But for the most part, most people are going to let it roll to the back of the end zone, and the kicking team wants it to go to the back of the end zone because they don't want to have to deal with it. Everybody is safer. It's kind of a tricky way of doing it to keep everybody safer.
It's just an incentive thing, really.
So if that's the thinking, why don't they just start, you score a touchdown, all right, the other team gets it at the 25. Why go through the formality of kicking it off?
Because it's not going to, because it's a formality like 90% of the time.
1/5 of the time, 20% of the time, they'll try to return. 20% is still, there's a chance.
I'm talking specifically about near the end of games when you feel like, okay, we need to see something happen here. We need a break. We need, to make something happen, maybe get ourselves to the 40, to the 45, maybe there's a chance that can happen. And then all of a sudden it's not in your best interest to start at the 25. You want to be a whole lot closer than that.
But you got guys that are kicking it, through the end zone.
Yeah. But, for those opportunities where, it's still playable because they're kicking it through the end zone because it's bouncing in the end zone and just going out the back. But if you actually catch it, you could return it.
I think they're being told not to. I mean,
just mathematically, it makes no sense to do it. Yeah.
Niner 1680 says, I don't like YouTube ticket for same reason. Got to switch input for games on regular TV. Well, no. What are you talking about? The regular TV channels, if you go down there, those games are still available through the YouTube TV, but I get you. Probably better if you did have it on the antenna. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's Sports History. Back in the years 1962, Tom Chaney set a major league mark for strikeouts in a single game by striking out 21 batters, throwing all 16 innings in the Washington Senators' 2-1 victory over the Baltimore Orioles. 27-year-old right-hander tossed 228 pitches in a 3-hour, 59-minute Memorial Stadium contest. Back to me, Jeffrey.
You imagine that?
I wonder if he complained about, I shouldn't still been in there in the seventh inning.
Candy asses today, throwing 220 pitches. Are you kidding me?
Did you hear that kid the other day? I don't think I should have been out there in the seventh inning. I really just don't think I should have been there.
Oh, my God. Shut up.
Oh, God. Tom Chaney, stepbrother of Liz Cheney and Lon Chaney. And if I remember correctly, Dick Cheney.
I don't think that's.
No, these are facts that I just made up, so they're
No.
true. What? No, it's fine. No, just go with it.
No,
just let it happen.
No. Mm-mm.
Lon Chaney, I just went like old school horror movie. On
Yeah, I know you did. Yeah.
Dick Cheney, I went more modern horror story.
Yeah. No.
No. Thing. Beer Bob says, I couldn't get into the local games on YouTube this weekend on my Sunday ticket because you don't try to get it from the Sunday ticket thing. You scroll down to the local channel that it's on and it can work. So that's the thing. I moved the Sunday ticket line all the way up to the top so that I could find it easy. And then I could easily slide down to the next thing down was where your Fox or CBS local was. That I actually navigated pretty easily. It just didn't like the way they didn't let you do more than 4 in a multi-screen. That's all.
Right.
For years, been doing it that way. My wife and I we've been doing this for 9 years. So of course, change is always hard. So I guess I can drag another TV into the living room. Seems like overkill. I wonder if anybody else is going to complain to YouTube TV and maybe they'll do something about this. Can't imagine it costs more to have another multi-screen channel. You think?
No, I can't imagine that.
Big George says, "Hey, how about Zach Gallen throwing a complete game the other day? Yeah, we saluted him for that. That was nice. That was manly right there. Man card accreditation. Yeah. Everybody have a great night. We'll be back in your radios again tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Good night.
Staples has big savings on everything for school or the office.